Okay, welcome everybody, welcome back. So, we had quite a journey last time, I believe. On top of taking into your companionship a new member of the Wild Cards, it seems, the very capable knight Sir Silas Zymorvin and his manservant Ebenezer Baradalt, along with his valiant steed. You guys all began to travel together. You made your way north. You're going to take down that bounty and take down that Weevil Dwarf fellow. So you made your way north, where you saw some stuff on the road. You rode past a war party of Uthgard barbarians at the behest of your ranger. You decided to just completely fuck up some bandits who claimed to be do-gooders, try to keep the roads safe independently, asked for a toll, and you guys were like, fuck your toll. And you murdered their asses, but their leader, Orc, did ride off into the sunset, crying for dear life. Unfortunate for him, very embarrassing. You guys made your way along the road trying to get yourselves to, I believe it was Long Saddle, but you met the great copper dragon Vexilianthus first, and he was just a great guy. He likes dirty jokes. He likes company more. He invited you to his lair to hang out. He showed you his most valuable treasures. He accepted a couple gifts from some gifts from all of you, just sort of like personal mementos. Some of you contributed to his lair, and he thought you guys were just the cat's meow, and decided to help escort you all the rest of the way to Long Saddle, and then left you be. With that, you guys met with Penelope Harpel at the Ivy Mansion, the matron of the Harpel family and the very famous, very capable wizard family of the town. Informed you on giant sightings here and there. That the Weevil was not in town, and if he was, the Harpel family certainly would have done something about it. That the town is well defended by magical wards and such. And you all told her of Vexillanthus and was like, interesting. All right, well, we'll send somebody who's good-humored and potentially make, see if we can't make like a friendly alliance with this dragon. You went to the gambling golem in town, and all kinds of shenanigans happened. Nienna decided to cheat and help out Rockguzzle, making Rockguzzle like kicking ass at the gambling table, was invited to the high stakes table by a couple of dwarves and managed to beat them all out of their money too, and walked away a wealthier goblin. Silas lost all of his money, unfortunately, and was asked to step outside by one of the locals who claimed that he was cheating. I don't know how that makes sense, but you rolled for it. And you just beat his ass into the dirt. He took a swing on you, and you just punched him so hard his face went about 2 inches into the mud. He was healed so that he didn't fucking die, and you all went on your way. Again, Rakazel, the wealthier goblin. You guys traveled some more, and unfortunately that night you were beset upon by large cats, large feline creatures with white coats that attacked. They slew Sir Silas's mighty steed, very unfortunate, and scared off Winterbow's horse, and that is where we will pick up today here at the campsite. You have all defeated the local cats, and you guys are going to see Zindra Winterbow just sort of run off into the dark and kind of disappear into the night after her horse. What do you all do?
Anyone hurt? What do we lose?
Yes, how are we all? I took a bit of a fall there, but feeling okay here.
Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
I do fear that we suffered our first casualty of this expedition.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Better a horse than a friend, though. Did have this one for a while. We don't really. It's not feasible to do a burial here, is it? Is that normal for a horse?
We could do a burial.
Ebenezer puts his hand on your shoulder, Sir Silas, and says, You have my deepest condolences, So Silas, he was a mighty steed. A mighty steed.
Thank you. If only we had a coffin big enough to fit him.
Unfortunately, we are not at home where such coffins can be made. Unfortunately, this horse will not be able to be buried with the other family horses.
Well, perhaps we might construct a funeral pyre so that his ashes may be carried home.
I think that would be quite fitting, Sir Silas. I think your father would approve.
I will just nod very sadly, as if he lost a treasured friend.
And probably did. It's sad when you lose like a steed, a pet, you know?
Yeah, and horses are around for a while. I mean, that probably at least a good 5-10 years.
You probably had this horse for a couple years, yeah.
Mhm.
And hey, more than a pet, this thing has rode you into battle, saved your life probably multiple times, and sadly he's fallen.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my friend. We'll honor him. We'll do our best. And perhaps we'll look at these cats and see if we can find some use for their pelts or whatever we can.
They are
you-
very impressive pelts.
Well,
Well worth taking with us, maybe.
when our ranger gets back, maybe she can skin them. Miss Rock Guzzle, can you skin them?
I could look. I could try, but
Let's ask the ranger first.
Why don't we just gather them and when Syndra returns, she can guide us how to harvest them properly.
And she does return after, well, let me see if she gets her horse. Oh yeah, she's fucking awesome. She returns with her horse, sort of looking a little like guffed that her horse that she had to go like charging through the woods after her horse like that, but she returns with horse mounted. And yeah, if you ask her to start deal with the Cray Cats, she basically starts like a 2 a.m. like leather worker tutorial where she's like bloody up to here and she's got like a blade or a set of blades on. She goes, okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to cut the neck so that you bleed it out. She like, and it starts bleeding to the ground. You want to clear so you can clean the meat. The next thing you want to do a nice incision here. Evan's just like, oh yeah, it's cool. That's the best place to get
along as well.
Best meats around the hindquarters. That's where like a lot of fat is stored. Very good meat there. But all the good meat's good. You want to take. She starts just like telling you all about it. She's like super comfortable cleaning animals. She's just going for it.
A lot of the spots to cut also happen to be where all the weak spots are. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that would probably be a point for you, my friend. Absolutely. She says, it seems like the thing for these cats is that they're, I'm just gonna pull them up, because they're not on my, list of harvestable animals, so I gotta kind of play around here. She goes, so yeah, we could take the meat and the pelts off of these things. So I'll get to work. It'll take a while. But I already got my trance in, so I'm good.
These is the meat good?
Yeah, meat's great. Yeah, we could probably get quite a few pounds of meat off of these big guys. But it does go bad after a while. We could sell it in town, or I could take some time to sort of. I mean, if we could get ourselves it's a little cold up here. If we could try and do a smoke cut. But I think you guys all want to keep traveling. You've at least got breakfast for tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Thanks again, Syndra. Yeah. Those are some excellent shots you had, and I think you killed like 3 of them.
Oh, I don't know about all that. Thank you. But yeah, no, I'll get to work on these and yeah.
Dorino assist around, like just lifting stuff and helping out wherever he can, and making sure Silas gets some quiet time as the horse burns and such.
Niana would have
Absolutely.
offered
Yeah.
Silas a big hug.
Oh, thank you, Rihanna.
It's pat pat.
Hang on a second. Yeah, just plugging in the phone. Yeah, she does need to get her long rest in, so she will do that at some point. But she's gonna take down 2 of these Craig cats. The other 2 she'll do in the morning if you guys want to take that time to do so.
Perfect.
She's gonna go work on these guys, and she is quite the capable scout. I think I'm gonna have to level her up soon, to sort of match where you guys are. Yeah, she does just fine. Okay, let's see here. Let's see how much meat she takes. She carves off 25. Let's do a reroll so we can see how much off the other side. 13. That's gonna be. She carves off 33 pounds of meat
Jesus.
off of these, or not pounds, sorry, 33 pieces of meat that could be turned into rations. But that is about 150 pounds of meat.
Oh, wow.
There's a ton of them. They're big.
Yeah.
They're big. She also takes their like somewhat damaged, but like other than the blood, like almost perfectly white hides, and she sort of rolls them up and sort of straps them to the back of her horse.
Perhaps we could find someone to turn that into some warmer clothing for us. And it's getting a little bit colder. And perhaps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have some time next time we're in town. I might put some work into that for myself.
There you go. Well, in any case, we should all get some rest. Still have plenty of journey ahead of us. I believe I was next on lookout duty. And, went Deanna rock guzzled me, I believe, or was it Silas rock guzzled me?
I think Niana took the first one.
Okay. And Rob Guzzle took the one that we fought, so I'll take the next watch. And or do you want some more time, Silas? Perhaps just
I think I'll stay up through the
Cool.
night, keep the vigil, make sure the fire doesn't spread. If you want to get your rest, I'll be up.
okay. Yeah. So yeah, Doreen will go back to he'll get some rest and then he'll wake up first, I guess, for the last
Okay.
watch.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Me or Lex?
You, Easton.
Oh,
As you are up.
sorry, my bad.
No worries.
That is 30-20.
Nice.
A dirty 20. Okay, I want you to roll me one more dice. Just any even-sided dice. So let me know what the number is.
2.
You're sort of like keeping a watch, and you kind of just sort of hear sound on the wind. You kind of look around, and it sounds like sort of like steps beating in the wind a little bit. You kind of look around, look up, and you see something sort of like in the dark, sort of circling up above, and not unusual. Your camp smells of death right now. But then you have like you see it getting closer, and you have like a moment of like sort of reserve and like, oh god, and then you notice and recognize the shape of this entity as it sort of lands down to the horses go like in terror, and you see your old copper dragon friend lands, but fully crashes, by the way, like fully doesn't land gracefully, just like rolls over himself entirely, and sort of like hops back up, and he goes, hey, it's me. It's your new friends. It's Alex Salanthus. How's it going?
I'm awake. I'm awake.
Nina like stumbles out of the tent with her hair is like crazy and she has the mace and she's like and the shield. She's like, woo.
Yeah, you
Not
guys all
quite
sort of
sticking those landings.
oh yeah, I like to go fast. It doesn't always work out. Hey, cool. Are you guys all right? You look like you got hurt.
We
Yeah.
did get attacked in the night, but we're all still standing, minus a horse.
Oh, that's too bad. Man, you look at good job. Good job though. Good killing. I just I don't know. You guys were so cool, and I just wanted to like.
Are you
hang out
hungry?
a little-
Do you want some
Yeah,
cat?
sure. Yeah. Could I eat one of these?
Sure.
By all means.
Well, we can have the
Really?
meat from one of them. We just got to keep
Oh.
the pelt.
Oh,
Yeah. Cinder separated them, so I imagine there's a pile of bloody carcasses right over here. Pick one.
oh yeah, sure. Thanks. And he'll go to one of these like because she's cleaned two of these cats fully.
Yeah.
The other two are not yet cleaned. Like enough so that like she's like, okay, I've done what I need to do, and I'll do the rest tonight. And he kind of like peels, sort of like unrolls the burrito, and then he goes in there and he starts like eating the meat off of one of them. Winterbow's like, oh fuck, like making sure he doesn't destroy the pelt, and he does his best. And he's like, so, how you guys? What are you guys up to? Are you like sleeping?
Some of us
Not
were.
anymore.
We were.
But it's supposed to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you guys too. This is good. This is good meat. I don't usually get Craig cat. It's really exceptional. Really juicy meat.
Perhaps an early breakfast is in order. And I look towards Silas, sort of like saying, expectingly towards Ed. Like,
Winterbow just kind of like just goes to bed. It's just been exciting enough night. I'll tell you what. I'll keep watch for you guys. You guys just go to bed. We can talk. We'll hang out in the morning. All right.
okay,
Certainly.
that's better.
I feel safe already, and I go to sleep.
Since I was doing watch, I'll probably stay up and just hang out, like idle chatter.
Yeah, and you've gotten your necessary sleeping hours, so you absolutely can get up. And you guys kind of chat for a bit. And he goes, "Oh, is that horse up for? Could eat the horse too? I like horse."
Actually,
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
No, that was a friendly horse. Okay, sorry.
You could maybe kindle a flame on it, sort of speed up the process. It'd be great if it was, well, not great, but it'd be more ideal if it was a pile of ash by the time Silas woke up, as opposed to a half burnt, half crisp. Still, you can smell the hairs.
Oh,
It's a lot.
I mean-
Maybe you want to light it on fire?
light it on fire. I mean, I could try. I mean, if you want it gone, like I can make it like
No,
go
just-
away.
Just like a pile of ash.
Make it
Like a little-
gastronomically disappear.
Like a
I
little
could-
sneeze. Could you sneeze fire?
Sneeze on? I mean, I could sneeze on it, sure.
No, don't cover it in mucus.
No, I know what you mean. I'm like, you want me to use like my breath on it?
Yeah. Just on the dead horse, and not incinerate it as completely, but still so it's ash dust. There's no way you're gonna melt it completely.
I mean, I can't ash out. Like, I'll try. I never really
Yeah.
turned anything to ash with my breath, but I'll give it a shot if you want me to, Durain.
Sure. I
All
think that's
right.
the nice thing to do.
He walks over to it, kind of like looks back at you, Durain, of like a, "Are you sure you want me to do this?" And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Should be good.
Okay, I don't know how it's gonna turn to ash, but
Wait!
what?
I just had a horrific vision of you lighting the entire campsite on fire, and I don't know.
I'm not gonna
that's
light the
what-
campsite on fire. I don't know why you keep talking about fire.
Oh, do you not breathe? I feel wrong now. You're a dragon, so I assumed fire.
No, I breathe acid.
I was so
Oh!
hoping that Silas
I
would
was-
wake up in the morning and just have a horribly melted puddle of horse to greet him.
Oh.
Yeah, you ever seen the second
No.
episode of Fall of House Usher?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, huh. So you breathe. Huh.
I mean, I can like
No,
put
no.
acid on it and melt it.
That's somehow worse and more figuratively painful, I believe. Huh.
Well, not all of us can breathe fire. All right, I'm sorry, I was born this
No.
way.
No, it's really cool. I just now I'm wondering what what else like huh. You are the first dragon I've ever met.
Oh,
So.
that's okay. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually.
Oh, thanks. You're a good friend.
Oh, thanks.
Normally I feel as if I'm, well, not inadequate, but perhaps mentally on a different sort of plane. But with you, I feel like we're in the exact same plane. We're just here.
Yeah. All right. So you think you have like the mind of a dragon?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it, Terrain. See,
Yeah.
you can't talk about yourself like that. You don't fall short. Maybe
Yeah.
you just have something that other people don't.
And that touches Durain deeply right there. That got him. And
He said, well, think about it. You're a paladin. Maybe the difference between you and everyone else is that you have the heart of a dragon.
Vex, you are. Thank you. And he gives him a little pat on the nearest limb or whatever.
You pat his crazily strong shoulders. Just give him a little pat. He gives you just a little nod of yeah. So am I?
No.
No. Okay.
But that will happen. That now that I know that will happen. Wow, acid. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't love to do the acid because, people scream pretty horrifically before they die when they're melting because of acid. So it really
Yeah.
kind
I
of
can
irks me.
imagine.
But it's really effective. So
Yeah, of course.
I can also slow people down.
Whoa.
I have two breaths. I've got one that's scream death, ah, and then I have another one that's slows them right down. Here, you want me to do it on you? It won't hurt or anything.
No. And does it go away? Can you make it go
Yeah,
away?
it goes away. It'll last for a little bit.
Yes. Slowly.
There's only sometimes permanent effects. And he breathes on you. Make a Constitution saving throw as he exhales this sort of yellowish, acrid, breath of air on you.
Dirty 20 again.
You're but nothing happens. You feel your body sort of feels a little stiff, but not enough to sort of slow you down.
Feels very craggy or whatever those things were called.
Wow, you didn't even slow down at all. Maybe you do have the heart of a dragon. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking. And, probably Durain will ask him for what cool stuff he's done with his breath, what stupid stuff he's done with his breath, just all kinds of cool questions like that.
He goes, oh yeah, I had this group of goblins show up at my lair, and they wanted it back, right? Because I told you I killed them all because they were they're bad guys. They were harassing people on the road and stealing. They'd killed a couple of farmers, and I was they're bad guys. So I killed them all. And then some more came back, and they were hey, get the fuck out of our lair. And I was you guys gotta go. This is not gonna go good for you. I'm a fucking dragon. And they're nah, we're goblins, and we're gonna kill you. So I breathed acid all over them, and they screamed horribly for about 5 minutes until they stopped screaming.
Ooh, 5 minutes. That's long. Like,
Yeah, I got the 4 guys right in the front completely just like went down, but the guys in the back who got kind of like just sprayed by it a little bit. It took a while.
so,
Yes.
so the guys in the back probably saw the guys in the front melt. That's a little
Now that I think of it,
horrific.
it might have
Like,
been a scream of terror more than anything.
yeah.
I mean,
I, how did that make you feel? Like did you feel you in a way you had no choice, but did hearing the
not
screams of
great.
terror?
Like
Yeah, that's
some dragons, they're real like like save people, war, fight, and all that. Even other metallics are like like let's go fight. But like I don't know, that's not really me. I like to have
yeah,
guests and I like to make friends and I
yeah,
don't know if they're willing to make friends and they're willing to like when I went in the cave originally, I was like if you guys stop like murdering people, like maybe we could be buddies. But they were
yeah.
like, no, we like murdering buddies, so I had to kill them.
Oh, that's all. Well, you tried a diplomatic approach. I respect that. I think, I hope over time you find more people that are receptive to that. I've noticed that sometimes there's just no hope for peace, even though you really want there to be. But that shouldn't stop you from trying. Lead by example.
Lead by example. I never really led anything before.
Huh? If you have time to find out, but I think for now, just keep exploring what makes you happy.
Well,
And
I'll tell you what makes me happy. Thrain, what do you call 2 men fighting over a slut? A tug of war.
yes,
Ah,
that's good. That's good. Just yeah, that's good. I like it.
wait, was that not good? Was that not good? I got another one.
Otherwise,
I got another one.
you know,
What do
and
you? Why are gay people like mice? Because they both
why?
hate pussies.
Oh, I get it. 'Cause it's cats. Ah,
uh,
but
no, what?
there are a lot of gay people that love pussy of all sorts, and I
What?
I just think you should maybe comedy a lot like fights. It's all about the audience, and maybe that's try and gauge your audience at each time, and then
Okay.
you could yeah, that's what I do. I like to show up to a new tavern and sort of kickstart a party and start dancing, and I pay for things when I metaphorically have to, and it sometimes not the greatest way to start things, but I have noticed that well, I gotta judge each tavern to depend on what to choose whatever song I want to sing to them. A lot like your jokes, they're good jokes.
I have to pay people? Wait, what?
No,
You
no,
lost me in
no,
here somewhere. At this point,
no.
everybody starts waking up. We'll say like, you guys all wake up to Terrain and the dragon. Maybe some of you don't wake up as you guys are like, oh my god, shut up. But others of you maybe are heavy sleepers.
Out
But
of
all of
character,
you wake
like we don't actually have tents, right? So we're literally just in the
Yeah.
sleeping bags, like 5 feet away.
Yeah, you guys are all just
Yeah.
like in your sleeping beds listening to them like full full volume like rants about uh their stuff, Um
Gentlemen, I can assure you, plenty of us are equal opportunity about it.
Yes,
Please
I
go to sleep.
and Duran just kind of like starts. He probably starts putting on like his getting to waking up.
Look, the sun's rising. And Durain and the dragon watch the sun rise together, and all of you sort of come to as the day begins. Yeah, and you all kind of get up and maybe and I think what's his name here? Ebenezer is going to like make you all Craig Cat steaks for breakfast. He says, I also found a couple eggs. So you guys will have steak and eggs this morning. Um, yeah, and you guys all just eat. I think Winterbow is gonna go and finish cleaning the last of the Craig cats, and is going to recover how much meat? Another 23 pieces of meat. So you guys are at 56 pieces of meat, and that's gonna be, you're at 250 pounds of meat.
We're basically like traveling butchers right now.
Yeah, she's like, all right. Yeah, she's like covered, like fully to shoulder in like dried, like and not dried blood. She's got like marks all over her face, especially across her forehead. She probably did some of that. She's just covered in blood. She's like, all right, I'm gonna go clean up a bit. You guys just, yeah. And she's gonna sort of wander off into the woods and find somewhere to go bathe.
Can we sell these, or I don't know? Maybe is there a way we could preserve them? This is
The
just
furs?
Yes. Well, the meat stuff.
Oh,
Ebenezer says, well, Master Drain, there is indeed a way that these can all be cooked. They can be, if you have an oven, if the sun is hot enough, if you have a smoke hut, you can turn these into proper rations. But unless you are able to do that within a couple of days, well, the meat's going to go bad probably by tomorrow. You have also could all take some time to preserve this into proper rations. It would take probably the majority of the day, however.
Well,
Are we, I feel like we're not lacking for rations right now.
you're muted, sweetie pie.
We do have enough rations, it is true. Do you suppose we can reach the next town before the end of the night?
Well, you'll have to ask. You'll have to ask the ranger. I'm afraid she's gone off to clean herself.
Mm,
She sure could tell you. I keep forgetting to write down how fast you guys travel in a day. You guys are so speedy.
And we also have our buddy here who can probably give us some cover for the first ride.
if we ask him.
Let's see. So you're 24, 6, 12, 18. 18 is gonna be. Yeah, you guys do 42 miles in a day. He says, "Oh, I gotta get back to my lair. I just, like, I'm kind of outside my territory right now. I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to hang out and just see if you guys were doing all right. I was just feeling a little,
Anytime, pal.
Oh, you should be expecting a guest relatively soon.
A guest?
From Longsaddle.
We got you some.
Oh, what kind? Okay, are they after like my horde or something?
No.
Should I-
No, they're there
No?
to share some jokes and see about maybe starting a good friendship with you in the town. Perhaps deliver some furniture. I did recommend them to bring some nice carpets and rugs for you. I know you were complaining about a lack of hangings in the cave, so
You sent someone to my horde, to my secret lair, to tell
well,
me
I
more
sent
dirty
them.
jokes?
I sent them
You
in the
guys are the
general nick of
best.
the woods. You might
The
have
dragon
to.
Yeah.
throws his arms around you, Sir Silas, and like hugs you. It's the most like the most painful hug or terrifying hug you've ever been a part of.
I'm very glad you enjoy it.
You guys are the best. And he like gives you like a one-armed hug because he's a quadruped, and he's like, "This is so great! I'm so excited." He like kind of like tippy taps a bit. It's all right. Well, I gotta go then. I gotta get things ready. Can I take some of this meat? I should cook
Yes.
it.
By all
Yes,
means.
yes. By all
Actually, I
means.
have a fun challenge for you. How much cat do you think you could eat in just one sitting?
Oh, me? I could probably eat the whole. Probably like. I mean, I'm a big cat. I mean, I'm not a cat. I'm a lizard, kind of. I could eat probably like a whole. I mean, I just did eat one of those whole things. I could probably like take like a third of this off your pants if you want.
By all means, I don't
Go
think we
for
need
it.
all of it.
He like does one of these, like the raccoon taking food from the cat bowl video, and he like sort of does this, and he'll take 50 pounds of meat off of your hands, because he can only fly with so much too, and it's a bit of a journey. So, so you guys have 200 pounds left. That's gonna be. We're gonna say you guys have like 40 rations left. We'll call it. And he, okay, I'll see you guys on the way back. And he takes off and he flies back towards his lair, meat in hand, prepared to host some new individual from Long Saddle.
Thank you for not letting him melt my horse.
Yeah, yeah. I had no idea dragons breathed so many different breaths. It would have been. I feel like I made I ended my train of thought in a very good manner. I might have started it at noble but zealous ways, and
I'll be
surely would have
honest,
kept
I
on.
was awake for a good 20 minutes of that. You certainly took us all on a very winding, fascinating road.
As is my way, my good friend. As is my way. And Duran has his gear, so we still have a lot of meat. There's so much of it, and it tasted so good, but I don't want to lose a day of travel.
We could try to. We could go since we're. Well,
We could try to make it to the next town.
yeah, we could speed ourselves up a bit.
We do need a new horse, so
We'll say Winterbow at this time
It's true.
returns unarmored, wet hair, just sort of like whatever small clothing to sort of returns from, and is no longer just coated in blood.
Hey, Winterbow, how far are we from the next town?
We should be getting there by the end of the day. That's Santharl's Keep. That's where the bounty is said to be.
Thinking about some of the meat we have still, is there a way we could get to Xanthal's quicker?
Well, we can always just speed up. I mean, if we want to speed things along, we could get there even a little sooner. Sort of go into like a light canter for the day.
sounds good to me. And when we get there, I suppose you'll know exactly where to trade these pelts and meats, and
Yeah,
perhaps getting a move on with is in order.
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, if I had some time, I could smoke all of these, but we're traveling. I mean, I could always stay here and just kind of smoke it out in the woods and then catch up, but I don't know if I could travel 200 pounds of meat on one
No,
horse.
Exactly.
I enjoy traveling with your company. I'm sure the rest of us wild cards do as well.
If we, get there, go a bit faster, get there a bit sooner, should be there before the end of the day, so hopefully that should give us time to at least offload the meat and the pelts, or get the meat,
Let's do it.
on the fire.
All right, let's get
Let's hit
to
the
it.
road.
Well, you guys would have already. So you guys are at. I'm gonna say you're at 35 pieces of meat, as I assume you all ate this morning. And that'll cover your rations for the day. And just so I'm being sure about how much you got on you, one piece is worth. Oh, I put my calculator over there. Let's see, 4 times 35 equals Yeah, so you guys have 140 pounds of meat at this point. Fantastic. You guys load it up. Everybody mark off a feed for your horses. Who has a horse? Ebenezer offers his horse to you, Sir Silas, and says, "It is the station of a retainer to walk. I will be more than happy to do so." So
No,
Sir
by all means, I did give this horse to you. You can ride, I can walk if need be.
Sir, I must insist. It would be completely unfitting for me to be mounted, whereas you, being the good knight of the company, to not, it would be a dishonor to even myself.
If you'd like, you can ride with me.
Certainly, it just doesn't feel right to be taking the reins on one steed after just losing the last. It feels
Well,
oddly unfaithful.
if we're gonna be speeding up, odds are one of you is gonna have to take the reins of mine, and I'll sit in front.
Ebenezer puts the reins in your hands, Sir Silas, and he says, "By all means, sir, you claimed the beast, and you very kindly gave it to me. It was only a couple days away. Please, I must insist, if it makes you feel better, you can think of it as my horse, but I must insist you have it. And I will be more than happy to ride with Rotgazon."
You're very kind. I'll be sure once I have another to return use of this one to you if you insist.
Very good, sir. And he'll hop up behind Rotguzzle, and we'll yeah, you guys can all continue to hit the road. Winterbow gets all ready to go, and you guys all hop on your horses and prepare to travel today.
Is Doreen still riding the axe beak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Fucking axe beak. What amount?
Just perpetually chocobos in my mind.
Not far off, honestly. Other than the beak, pretty much the same. And the blue feathers. But
It is pretty good because I do plan on getting the flying steed ability later. So
yeah.
It's a very good spell. It's
If this
what,
thing's-
level 5 you get unlocked?
Yeah, I believe so. Or 4, 5 or 4.
That is 5.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
My if this thing is still alive, I want to give it away Pokemon style when I get my flying steed, or I don't know,
Computer.
find it. All right, who's rolling the first travel dice, and why is it Jupiter?
All right, somebody roll me a d20 to see how your travels are today.
Six.
You travel, and apparently you travel at a fast pace, as it sounded like. So you guys will be doing 48 miles today. So you guys, let's see here, 8 hours of travel. Let's see here. Where's my little pointer? Oh, there's my ruler. Okay, here we go. Guys are gonna travel 42. So you guys are gonna shave an hour at this fast pace off of your travel. And sort of late in the afternoon, you guys are gonna arrive at Xantharl's Keep, loaded up with tons of stinking meat. But luckily, fast enough on your steeds that you are able to get there to Xantharl's Keep. Fantastic, guys. Let me take y'all there. Please tell me I deleted that oversized bird that I left.
Well, that's a fun looking town.
Yeah, you guys get to Xantharl's Keep. I'll start laying your minis down. And you are going to... Let me put some music on. Apparently, it's a ghost town right now. Oh, I love this track. This is like my favorite sort of just meandering track. All right, you all arrive at Xantharl's Keep. That is the wrong thing. All right. All right. There we go. As you approach, you see a fortified village with wood walls. It's sort of in the middle of nowhere. You're riding. There was no sort of signs of like civilization or anything. It's just sort of this small village that just sort of pops up. Like anything you would see beyond this board is just like forested, like roaded region. And then this little settlement just kind of pops up out of nowhere. Um, uh, Incredible. You see that it is well fortified. You're not terribly sure why, but it is. The outer wall seems to be heavily fortified with heavy crossbowmen on its battlements, and seems to enclose a keep sheltered with a steep roof. You guys are perhaps a little impressed. There are a couple of stables outside of town, and you guys can sort of approach. To which you would hear the guardsmen say, "There's like, you can see there's quite a few of them stationed there, surprisingly large amount of them." One will look down and say, "State your business."
We are traveling from Long Saddle. Of late, we are the Wild Cards. We're on our way to Mirabar.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure thing. Let me double check my bonuses to that. It's been a minute. That is a 14.
A 14. All right. He says, all right, and I see you got steeds. You're more than welcome to take them where you please, but if you want to organise somewhere for them to stay, stablings and such, you're going to want to talk to the innkeeper. You're looking for, her name's Araztra. Just keep going in, you'll find her. Open the gate. And they open the gate for you all to travel within. Look at that immersion. You see that door open? Such immersion. You guys can all wander into Xanthar's Keep. And you are quickly set upon the sight of, like, not many villagers. There's probably, like, you don't know who's asleep or whatnot, but there's probably, like, 3 times as many guards here as there are just, like, civilians.
So this is like a military keep and outpost as much as an actual settlement?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It definitely seems that way.
Not the liveliest town we've set foot in, but we are here in business. Perhaps Syndra, if you want, you could handle that, the trading, and should we all regroup in the inn after perhaps a stabling? How are we feeling?
I say we get rid of this meat.
Ebenezer says,
longer.
I will, perhaps I shall stay with the steeds outside the city so as not to create muck, and you can all organise stabling, and I'll just keep an eye on our glorious beasts. How's that sound?
Certainly. Do you want me to come back and fetch you whenever we have it all sorted and paid for?
Oh, most certainly, sir. I'll be happy to organise the stabling once indeed arrangements have been made.
Excellent, thank you. Yep.
Zindra hops off. She says, I guess I'll go check around the market and see if anyone wants any raw meat. I can make these into rations if you want, guys.
Yeah. That, you know what? Yeah, those are better. Let's stock up on rations and add them to the pile. What do we think?
I
Sell
think
what
it
we don't need.
sounds more elegant than selling meat to buy rations.
All right, I'll go figure it out. Hey, you. And she kind of milks over to the nearest guy and goes like, where's a good place where I can like set up like a smoke oven? And they're like, what? And she's gonna go start cooking rations.
Here's the
That's what
nearest
she's gonna
barbecue
do.
shop.
Zindra's barbecue. Well, you guys doing? Come on over. You want some Craig Matt meat? But yeah, she's basically sets up like a little like smoke oven outside of town, and she's gonna just start. Well, she'll do it in town. They'll let her do it in town, and she starts smoking like 140 pounds of meat.
That's a great day in anywhere in Kentucky.
Yeah. God, the smell has to like fill a street whenever it's that much.
Rock Guzzle, what's our exact business here again? It's been a long journey, and I've forgotten many of things.
Essentially nothing. We're just passing through.
I believe, in the words of my esteemed father, it's what we call a pit stop.
Oh, I above the table. It's red in our little map. Does that mean quest? Or...
It was like the place to go for the
Get access to
Weevil.
Mirabar, right?
No, this is you guys were tipped off by what's his name, the groundskeeper, that this is where you might find the weevil.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what I was
the-
thinking, but there ain't dumbasses fucking yes.
Let me just see.
Yeah, supposedly he hangs around over here somewhere. Is the rumor.
Are you
That's the lead
sure,
you guys are
Rock Guzzle?
Merchant from the city of Miragars, Anthos keeps Sora Dwarfus on the wanted. Okay, they just saw the wanted post.
Yeah, the dark bearded dwarf with the
Yeah.
crazy look in his eye.
The exact tip was that a merchant had seen the wanted poster, but we've seen the wanted poster, and that says that the Weevil's out in the mines of Mirabar. So, well, this was our originally intended destination. We've since got. We have to go further north.
Do you think the poster is more correct than the gentleman that told you where you might find him? Or do you think...
Rock Guzzle.
Yeah.
This will sound offensive, but I have no other way of saying it. Seeing as the Weevil is, well, more criminal and of a ne'er-do-well sort of air, I believe if there's any of us four that are going to go and get proper intel, if he is here, well, I'm far too pretty, and Silas is very pretty, and Vienna.
I think I
but-
could pass off as a hardened criminal.
Yeah, of course, but
They'll believe that I'm from the streets.
Vienna is, well, but fine. And as I said, Rock Guzzle, I think
Okay.
we might.
Stop, because right now you're insulting me, and Silas, you're deluding yourself. The way you talk, you be figured out in a second. Okay.
Well, you're right.
I'll adjust one thing. Looking around, there's like a lot of guards, and I don't think if you're a bandit, yeah, around here, this is if
But
you're
what
a
if-
criminal, being in the vicinity of this place sounds like a terrible idea.
Now, I've read my share of steamy books about bandits, and if I was a daring outlaw, I would maybe have a disguise, like a mask or a fake beard, maybe. Maybe he has a way to lay low.
Yeah. Hiding in plain sight, as it may. And well, if there's anyone that's going to dig around for that information, Rock Guzzle.
Oh god. Also, the poster we found in Long Saddle did say that he was last seen in the mines of Mirabar, so that feels a little bit more. That's
Accurate.
I'll tell you
If we
guys what,
don't,
me,
quite far.
whoever wishes to can make an insight check regarding his last known location.
Sure, I'll do that. That's not
Oh,
good. That's 11.
I'll roll an insight with a -1.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Our 11 is a success.
Oh my God!
Jeez.
In Silas's case, it's a dirty one, not a natural one.
Another dirty 20, dude.
That's-
You are on a roll.
It's on roll 20. I don't know if like something's set weird there. I'm just clicking D&D Beyond.
Well, you will succeed, Rock Guzzle. So, when the thing says like last known location is the mines of Mirabar. That's sort of like the last time the authorities have seen him and have since put a
Okay.
bounty out on him. So that's sort of like last known location by the official authorities. And then since then has probably like gone into hiding somewhere, right? The
Okay.
tip that you were given way back when was sort of like this is where he might be hiding out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's sort of like when the police are like, you know, last seen like at this location 3 days ago, right?
Very well.
Yeah.
Okay. And well, we're surrounded by guards. Let's just ask one of them. They're probably keeping an eye out for him, surely. And I walk up to a guard as a goblin. This can only go so well.
Huh.
Hi.
Yes.
Don't panic. I'm friendly. I'm actually here with my adventuring party, the Wild Cards. Remember that? We're looking to. We saw those wanted posters for the Weevil. We've had some. The poster says he was last seen in the mines of Mirabar. We got a tip that he was maybe around here somewhere. So, have you heard have any sightings of him? Anyone said anything about this guy?
Sorry, you're just the scariest thing I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. I'm terrified of clowns. Let me think. Oh, the Weevil. No, I haven't.
Insight? Can I roll this?
Yeah, make an insight check. Go ahead.
Again? 11 again. I literally have rolled the same thing twice.
He's a clown, a goblin, and a psychic.
You get a sense he's just very frightened of you. You're a goblin, like sort of dark clown, and he looks pretty scared.
Might I introduce you to my friend, Derain Rootwood. He looks relatively friendly, right?
Oh god, I was terrified of goats. That's like my second greatest fear in the world.
Okay, let me introduce you to the beautiful Leanna.
Can't find anything to be scared of you about. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Oh, I'm scared of mutes. I hate mutes. Oh, you can't talk. Okay, never mind. Whew. That was terrifying.
Can I look over the other guards at him while he's talking? And like I'm trying to do a perception to see if they're carrying themselves like guards or like guys pretending to like be guards.
Oh, okay. Make me an insight check.
Alright. Like is he holding that shield properly? There we go. There was no cheats because we're back to the 8s, baby.
Eight? Derain, this entire town could possibly, you're not sure, but could possibly be under the influence of some criminal mastermind. Who knows? You gotta be careful.
My good fellow, you seem terribly on edge. Are the rest of your compatriots like this? Have you had a stressful day? Do you want to talk about it?
Not with you, you're wearing red.
Are you terrified of red?
I don't like red too much, I hate blood.
Do you want me to take the jacket off?
No, it's fine, you got to face your fears. I think I'll start with colours.
Well, what's your favorite place to drink around here?
My favorite place is. He goes, oh, I already tell you about that. The Falling Orc Inn just over there. Yeah, that's a good place to drink, far away from me.
I gotta say, you're really like. Are you sure you're the best occupation? You seem really ill suited to this.
I mean, maybe he's just extremely vigilant due to his anxiety.
Well, I've been told I'm quite the good. I'm quite good at fighting. Yeah. I do get frightened a lot, but when the fighting starts, apparently I've been told I'm pretty good at it. I kind of black out. and sometimes I wake up
That's
and it's horrible.
so. I mean,
That's
sure.
rough.
So there.
I'm going to go to the inn now.
Okay, goodbye, scary
Yeah.
man in red.
Everything you just said about blacking out and waking up, I am now scared, so I'm gonna go.
All right.
Before we
Once it's
go,
like-
Yeah.
Once it's like us four just walking away a little bit and like little space. Okay. So we walk here, and maybe this is a heavily guarded small town. Or is there a possibility this place is occupied by the wrong people? Or is that paranoia? We've been on the road, but
I
there's
think that guard's rubbing off on you.
perhaps there's just a lot of arms to very few people to protect. Is all.
Hopefully, there's like
Well-
a like a big cheese, a boss guard, like
Yeah.
the guy in charge.
Well, keep in mind, this is on the way to Mirabar, which is a larger, relatively important city in the region, correct? So strategically, given that this has access to the road and you had to kind of pass through the gates and through the walls to get to the other side of the quickest area passage on the way to Mirabar and the mines is through here. This is effectively a defensive installation. Their job is to guard the path to where all the actual people are. And then the denizens here most likely exist in a serving capacity of trades that can help, tend to armor, repair weaponry, provide services to travelers, whatever makes money, right?
That and you are the one to trust with these regards. So
I am terribly informed in capitalism.
Well, let's hit this. What's it? The falling orc, and see if we can't. I don't know, track some information on some drunk guy. Maybe
Yes,
he's
and
curious.
sounds good.
if it is the inn, they should have stables, as the less terrified guard told us at the gate.
And if there's anywhere we're gonna find out more about the town, it's there.
And if someone's passing through, then presumably they do it at the inn. So I think you're right on the money there.
Rockuzzle, I've already overstepped my line as a friend, but
So you should probably not overstep it again.
no, I just we and I don't know if you've considered the boundaries of your powers, but we might need you to scan some heads, if that's a possibility.
That's a no-go. I can only communicate. I can't read your thoughts like
Hmm.
that. I can only. I have to like. It's like.
I've been withholding so many thoughts. There's been so many things I've thought for a second, and I was like, oh no, if
Well, I have
Rockuzzle
to,
sees
like-
that, I'm ruined.
I have to like think about connecting with you, and then it's two-way. Like it's
Okay.
it's like
Hmm.
you know the spell message.
Never heard of it.
Yes, I know that spell.
It's like that, but it's like always active and it's two-way.
Hmm.
Well,
I'm very touched. That means that for you to speak to us in our minds, we have to be in your thoughts.
yeah, I didn't think about that. That's very honest of you.
I do have to stress, like, it's not like reading. I'll never know your innermost feelings or what lies deep in the, deep inside your
Yet.
heart. I'll just,
Yet.
right.
Might be able to.
It's just like talking, but in your head, it's like you.
Okay. I'm just.
You have to actually want to communicate it. You can't just think it idle. Like you're not picking up your idle thoughts. That's a bit weird
Okay.
and kind of really like invasive in a bad way,
Yes, I understand. Perhaps I am just covering all of our possibilities.
Though
Either way,
once
here
I do remember there being like a fortune teller in the carnival. She knew how to read people's thoughts, and she'd use that to like do a cold read on people. It was hilarious. They believe anything
uh,
she said. She'd be going like, there's an uncle with the name Berenstein," and they'd be like, "No way, that's his name. How'd you know?"
I think I had an Uncle Berenstein. How did you know?
Stop it.
All right. At this point, you guys are very well made your way into the inn, to where you see, a couple people hanging out. You see a very hulking, large woman behind the bar. I mean, like big. Like she's like 8 feet tall. She's got like tusks. She's got very pale skin. She looks like an ogre, quite literally. Um, but she's like, well, she's dressed like sort of in that barmaid sort of dress, and she's cleaning like a mug that it looks almost comically small in her hand. She's using a finger to insert the cloth to clean it with. And she's this massive woman. People don't seem to mind this sort of monstrous individual, and they just continue to sort of drink and carouse as you enter within.
Come on, the guy was scared of me, but the bartender's fleeing for come on.
maybe fear goes down, goes higher with the lower they go in height. That could be a total thing.
I mean, in fairness, Rotgozel, pound for pound, you're the most deadly person among us.
That is very true. And you could, if you kill someone, you don't even have to cut them. That's try explaining that to that guard. He didn't even know the half of it.
Yeah, you could just say, "Is this your card?" and then they die.
Instantly.
Which is true, I guess.
You're making some terrible character judgments of me. I'm a good person, I swear.
You are.
Niana's just pinching the brow of her nose, going, "Oh my god."
I'm just very
Yes.
impressed.
I'll deal with all that some other time.
What's a
and-
free table we could grab?
Maybe next time if the carnival happens to find me again, I'll ask what the hell this is all about. Maybe this is what they were planning for me the whole time. That would be crazy.
Oh, do you think they put a magic deck inside your head?
That'd be something.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Magic deck.
That
Yeah,
would
it is
be.
Either way, there's
I
something
don't
in
know
the head.
exactly what Mr. Witch and Mr. Light can do, but I'm not counting that out.
All right, then. Well, this table looks free. We can set up here, and Durain starts looking around the bar, just like a quick little scan of the vibes of the patrons,
Nice.
more than the giant attendant.
Yeah, you see like maybe like 4 or 5 patrons of like civilian. You see like a table full of like off-duty guards. This big woman comes over. She goes, "Hey, honey, what can I get you?"
Oh,
I'll take an ale.
All right, that's 1 ale for the cider. What can I get the rest of you?
I'll just have a small glass of wine, please.
Yeah, I can get a glass of wine for you if that's what you like.
what vineyard is it from?
Well, it depends on what you want. I have 2 different sort of selections here. I do have a couple of the finer bottles in the back if you were looking for something a little more like Waterdhavian, prestigious sort of type.
Oh, I would love that if you do have it in stock. Are you Arastra by any chance?
Yeah, that's me, Aravstra. This is my tavern.
Oh, wonderful! I heard your name on the way in, and you clearly are a pillar of the community.
Oh, is that a joke because I'm a half ogre? Because I'm really
Uh,
tall, I'm a big woman?
Actually, no, it was meant to be as a genuine compliment, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't mean to be on the edge. I get a lot of, I get a lot of heat for the way I look. Sorry, I get a lot of. Anyway,
You and
that's
me
why
both,
I'm
lady.
sorry. Oh, hey, how's it going? I mean, I don't. I hope it's not rude to say, but it's nice to see another sort of uh, unaccepted sort of person by civilization.
Oh yeah, it's it's a relief to meet someone who knows what it's like to be feared on sight.
Oh, tell me about it. Half the people who walk into this bar off the road turn around screaming.
I've made it a point to like introduce myself to gods immediately, be like, hey, just so you know, I'm here and I'm not a
Oh,
threat.
yeah, the hands up. Yeah, that really works for them. I do. I do that too.
Huh.
I pretty much walk that. When I'm not around here and I'm out of town, I pretty much walk down streets like this.
Yeah, I was in Tribal for a while, and actually there's one god. He's really this one god in Tribal. He's cool as hell. They'd be like, sir, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
cool,
Dizzle,
cool story.
I have to say, I feel like if someone manifested before me and just told me very straight that I am here and I am not a threat, I would feel almost bizarrely threatened by it.
You see how hard it is to live in a world. You see, it's kind of hard to live in the world when you're not so pretty like you.
Well,
I do apologize. I'm just
Well,
trying to
you
think
tell
of
me.
what the.
You're sort of one of the pretty judgy types. So you tell me, what would you prefer someone like me say to you when I'm approaching and want to let you know I'm not here to hurt you?
Yeah, that is the pickle. That's what I'm trying to walk through from my end, and it seems like a horrible puzzle to be in.
I mean, it just sounds like your prejudices are getting in the way of what someone's saying to you, and that's kind of disappointing. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, I trust you quite thoroughly. I mean, we've fought together on multiple occasions. I'm just trying to. Hmm.
What about me?
This,
You just met me. You don't trust me. What would you say to someone like me?
well, apparently, what kind of wines you have in stock, which really was a terrible start, wasn't it?
I got
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'll go get you a wine, sir. She kind of like turns around and like we'll go. She goes into the back room and she comes out with like a very nice bottle. Um, see if I can't get a quick wine generator out. She brings you out what is known as Eliverquist wine. It is
It's the
it's
Elven
about
wine, right?
it's like it's a ruby colored wine. It has flecks of gold in it. The label says that it's distilled from sunshine and rare summer fruits. And it is indeed an elven wine from a vintage sort of near toward the misty forest you are aware of, and it's about 20 years old.
Oh, that looks lovely. How much do I owe you?
That'd be 10 gold.
All right. And would it be 20 if I wanted to share a drink with you as well?
Well, sure, I suppose. I mean, for 20, I can get you another bottle.
Let's settle with the one and just set out some glasses.
Sounds good. Yes, sir. And she'll go in. She'll get you guys some like actual like glass, wine glasses. They're nothing like what you're used to, but they're sort of basic. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
they're sort of glass wine glasses, which is more than most people can expect in a tavern. And yeah, and brings out like 5 wine glasses.
Thank you kindly. And Silas will produce a corkscrew, which he inexplicably has on his person,
Okay.
and just open it up and start pouring out measures of wine in each glass.
All right, fantastic. All of you are treated to a very delicious wine. I would say Rock Guzzles is probably, and you as well, Niana, probably your first exposure to like really quality vintage wine. It's delicious. Durain, you went to that one very fancy restaurant and certainly had very nice wine that you have not yet paid for.
yeah.
Um, And but yeah, you guys have an exquisite sort of. It is dry, but not so much to be offensive, and it has like sort of nice fruity hints. It's much more of a fruity wine than a dry wine. And inexplicably somehow you taste it. You taste the sunshine in it. You didn't know that sunshine had a taste, but here you are drinking a wine, tasting what you could identify as sunshine.
Hmm.
This is lovely. Thank you, Cyrus.
Wow.
Pleasure.
It almost
Never
makes
had
you
anything
forget
like
why
this.
we're here.
About why we're here, Arastra. Don't suppose you've seen any scraggly looking dwarves around, like a really ugly dwarf with a huge beard. Who's
Dark
that-
hair, maybe a
who's-
Wow.
Crazy
I mean,
look at
I
his
know
mouth.
a couple dwarves. I don't know if I'd be rude enough to call any of them ugly or crazy looking.
if you saw the wine I posted for this guy, you'd agree with me. He is ugly as hell.
no. It might have been a caricature.
I'm just saying that I'm going by what the artist is showing on the paper, and he was an ugly dwarf. It just is. But he goes by the Weevil.
I don't know any weevil. I know a couple dwarves, but I don't know any weevils.
Any of
I-
them
Oh,
newer in
fuck.
town, given to disappear for long times?
I got one guy who's a little new to town, but he doesn't disappear. He's actually a pretty hard worker.
Oh,
Yeah, he works for me. His name's Larg. He told me about he was actually an adventurer, and his band got killed. And it was just him, and he needed a place to stay, and so I pay him a couple coppers to sweep up the stables until he gets back up on his feet.
how recently did he come in town?
Uh, Let me think here. It's been a minute. He's been here for a couple weeks now.
Hmm.
Was he coming from like the Mirabar area?
He goes, I don't know about Mirabar. He says that he was hunting a red dragon in the valley of what did he say it was called? Kebern, something like that. And he said that's where he and his party were off adventuring. But yeah, the red dragon got the better of them, and he was the only one who got back alive.
How does Larg look by any chance?
Well, he's a little disheveled. He's kind of all down on his luck right now, but he looks like a dwarven stable hand. He's got a beard, but he's a dwarf. I mean, tell me a dwarf who doesn't have a beard.
Fair.
If he's a former adventurer, maybe he heard
He
something.
might be a friend.
I mean, he's like I say, he's a good worker. He keeps the stables nice and clean and maintains things around, and he's a good enough fellow.
Speaking of stables, we have some horses that we need to get stable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll be more than happy to have Lar come around and stable your horses for you. No problem.
One
Thank
of the
you.
horses is actually an axe-beak, but it's tame.
An axe beak. That's pretty. Hey, as long as it's tame, we'll stable it. That's all right.
It's tame, right? Like it hasn't axed any of the other horses. It's fine, right?
He's been fair, friendly even. I believe the orcs that we found him off of had already tamed him.
Oh, an orc trained axe. Look, you're. One of you seems to be some kind of knight, and you seem to be some kind of forest knight. And hey, look, if you say it's tame, I'll take your word for it. But if it hurts any of the other beasts, I'm gonna have to ask for some gold. You know.
That's fair. As long as there's no fire giants there, I don't think he'll be fighting. That's more his preference.
No fire giants. No fire giants.
Well then,
He's,
Alright.
anything else giving you trouble in the area?
No, nothing's been giving a lot of trouble. There's there's rumor that there's been a sighting of a frost giant in the area,
Oh.
but that's a bit of a rumor. Um, Yeah. Uh, some goblin activity. No offense, of course, sir. I'm not, of course, referring to you at all. But you know, the usual things you find in the sort of out here in the wilds, you know. Nothing too exceptional other than that. Lots of talks of giants on the road from bards and travelers.
Yeah, we heard of hill giants on the way up here coming from the south. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's this one guy around here somewhere. He sort of like looks back, goes, "Oh yeah, that fellow over there. His name is Ragno. You see this dwarven fellow, long bushy beard, but sort of dressed in sort of like a little bit of a traveler. He's got a loot strapped across his back, along with like a big travel bag. He goes, "Oh yeah. He's come through and he's been telling everybody tales of this one sort of frost giant warrior. It's this sort of legend that kind of is picked up around the Sword Coast, apparently."
interesting. A famous frost giant.
Oh yeah, well, infamous depending on who you ask,
Hmm.
but yeah, might be worth asking about. You seem like adventuring types, huh?
I suppose
Yeah.
we are.
That would be well then let's should we share a drink with them first and then stabilize our horses, or what's our
Oh, we'll
priority
handle
here?
the horses, no problem. We just tell us where your horses are. We'll take care of that. You feel free to sit down and have your glass of wine.
Alright. Then I suppose one of us should escort you towards our horses and see if then bring Evan here for a drink or so. But if you like, I could go be that or
Sure, sure.
I'd be happy to go with you and just check in on Eb.
He goes, all right,
okay.
Log. Meet some people out front. They got horses at the stable. And you hear like a all right, and you guys can sort of exit the bar if you wish to. Uh, yeah, you guys sort of head outside. Silas and Derain, the front line. Heads outside, and you meet up with this one dwarven individual. Yeah, he's got a hang on a second here, if you'd be so very kind. Yeah, he's got like a straggly beard. It kind of sort of comes down, kind of like sort of parts at the very end a little bit, but his hair is like all sort of messy and disheveled and sort of like poorly maintained. This very much looks like the image of like somebody who has been living in like a stable, which is probably the truth. Uh, Exceptional. He says, "All right, hello, my name's Larg. I'm happy to stable your horses for you. Where might they be?"
Just past the gates.
All right.
Yes, we'll walk with you. You are the former adventurer that came into the employee of this lovely inn, correct?
He goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, you heard about that. That's uh, a touch personal."
Well, I don't mean to pry too much. It's just not every day that one meets a dragon hunter. I'd love to hear a bit more about it if you're willing to share.
Uh, Make me a persuasion check.
Alrighty.
We're we're adventurers ourselves, really. Our journey's just begun, but we'd love any sort of advice, stories, tales, and trying to help them.
Uh, Venturing advice, I'd say, if you find someone you can trust, keep them close. I'd say that would probably be my best piece of advice.
It's a dirty 20.
30-20. He goes, yeah, all right. I suppose I'll tell you. I mean, we were hunting this red dragon in the valley of Kebron, and it didn't go well. I went in there with my allies. There was Sir Beric, Nelith from Bryn Shander, and another fellow from Tribal, and we went into there, and well, didn't go well. My friends go, well, but they done to what dragons do. And I kind of came back to town, and Arzastra was kind enough to give me a little bit of work while I sort of recovered from my injuries and got back on my feet and planned out my next steps.
From you said one of your friends was from Tribord. That's where we're traveling from.
Oh, really? That's it makes sense. Only a little bit further south, but yeah, we were good friends. We met on the road, and yeah, but
What,
yeah,
what was his name?
his name was uh, his name was Bromkin. Which is a stupid name, but no, he was a sort of mage's apprentice. Yeah, he was good at his spellcraft, but clearly not good enough.
He took an apprentice with you to hunt a red dragon.
Well, I mean, he started off as a apprentice, and we were sort of traveling together and getting more skilled, learning practically and such. He started out as an apprentice and kind of left his apprenticeship to be adventuring.
Interesting.
Of course. So you've been here just a couple weeks? That's what bartender told us. Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple weeks. Just a couple weeks. Not too long.
Out of character, does this gentleman look anything like the posters we've seen?
I would say like it's certainly not a 1-to-1. He definitely has like that straggly beard. He has. It's difficult because it's like not. It's a drawing, right? Sort of like that police sketch, except without the
When
the
half
skill.
of it's a beard, it's a little bit.
Yeah, half of it's a beard, so it's a little difficult to say. This guy's hair is longer. Yeah, it could be. It's a dwarf. It has a similar beard, and the hair's a little bit longer, but like it's difficult to say because yeah, like you say, like half the face is a beard in the picture, and half the face is a dwarf. So difficult to say, but possible.
Could I, with my -1 wisdom, attempt to roll insight just to see if any of this story kind of like pings as abnormal?
Sure.
Okay. So it's a 17 -1, so 16.
16. He seems legit. As far as you can tell, you haven't sussed out any sort of deception. You see, like there's like a clear, heavy heart as he speaks, and he has sort of the appearance of someone who is like not doing too good right now. Like the story seems to line up, and his words seem true enough.
I'm terribly sorry. That seems like an awful time to have gone through.
Above the table, the reports of the Weevil, have they had him doing like murder and heinous shit, right?
Yeah, murder and heinous shit, exactly.
Can I do just a quick little divine sense? See if just looking out for some evil.
Absolutely. So just so you know, what divine sense detects is desecration, consecration, and then those 3 creature types: celestial, undead, and demon.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like if he's doing some like evil vibe shit, like
yeah.
Even if freaking. And I'm in general just kind of like paranoid right now. This town's got like a lot of like I imagine this is what it feels like when New York City's got like a bunch of dudes with like M16s and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You ping it out, you don't detect anything that pings off on any of those 5 features. Because I know it begins and it says you can detect good and evil. There was some debate, I believe, in the D&D community about like whether that lets you detect alignment, and I played it that way for like a couple years, and it completely ruins the game. Completely. So, and I've looked it up, and I think Jeremy Crawford confirms it doesn't allow you to detect alignment. So,
No, yeah,
but
that
as
would
far
I would think that would be lame. I'm looking for like cult-like activity because we're closer to giant country in theory. So
absolutely, you are.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
apparently everywhere's giant country right now.
For
But yeah,
all I
you
know,
look.
these
Yeah,
people
you
could
look
be.
around with your ping sense. You don't detect any desecration, consecration, bad or good guys, anything like that.
All right, so by that nature, I'm my guard's a little less down. Can't be dwarfist. You know what I mean? Hey, it's a
Yeah,
dwarf. Hold it down. I can't.
absolutely. You get outside and you see that Zindra seems to be like chatting it up with a couple of like the residents and a couple guards, like very friendly. And she's looking a little with a look of like, why are these people talking to me? But like, whatever, I'll be friendly. And they're just kind of talking to her, and they seem to be like very interested in what she's cooking. There's like a little group, just seemingly like interested in what she's doing, and she's just like, yeah, no, they're just kind of talking. Um, and yeah, you head over there, and Abenzer says, "Very good, sir." And hands off the steeds to uh, this dwarf, who just sort of takes the reins, sort of in his two hands, and begins sort of moving them through towns to the stables behind the tavern.
Can I beckon
Um,
Syndra over?
Pardon?
Can I beckon Syndra over? Like wave to her to like come over?
She's like
So
cooking the food. She like looks at all the people, and she like gestures. She's like, "No, you come here if you want to talk."
okay, so I'm gonna walk to her.
Yeah. She goes, "Hey, Drain. I think these people are like thinking this is like some kind of cookout over here. I mean, like,
Oh, that speaks well to your cooking. That means you're crushing it. I'm
I
proud of
just,
you.
well, thanks. I mean, I was just gonna smoke everything. Like, I can just start cooking and feeding people and get them to pay for it. Like, I don't.
You know,
I mean,
feed some of the villagers. One thing I was considering, Syndra, is how the journey we just took here,
Uh-huh.
the say the direction, you know
Yeah,
it fairly well, right? And
yeah.
say if someone may have taken that same journey and perhaps lied, you'd be able to
Okay.
check them on it, would you?
I mean, I'd know if they were not giving correct facts. I mean, I'm not some. I don't really like. I'm not like a person reader or anything like
have you
that.
say heard of any red dragons in the valley of Kedron?
Uh, she says, well, let me do a roll for her really quick here. Uh,
That's right along where the mines of Mirabel are, yes?
uh, that's a great question. Yeah, she will roll. She goes, yeah, that's near the River Mirar, but that's up near the spine of the world, sort of like uh, between the mountains, between Larkwood. That's quite a while. That's quite a ways away.
And that's from what I've now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the spine of the world is very cold country.
It is very cold country.
Uh-huh.
Very cold, in fact.
Are red dragons cold creatures? I mean, I haven't brushed up on my dragonology, my dragonomics.
She goes, well, I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, that it's pretty isolated. That could be dragon country. Dragons do like to sort of stay away from civilization. I mean, I I don't hunt dragons, you know, like I don't personally know if there is one there, but like, oh, I do know that there is a whole legend that the guy who, you know, it's called the Valley of Kedron. Kedron was a dwarf prospector who apparently discovered the greatest cache of gems the world has ever seen, um, and then built a home for himself there. That's the legend, but that's again a legend. If it's true, then maybe a dragon took up residence there and found this hoard of gems and claimed it for themselves. But that, again, it's just a legend. I don't know if that's even true or not. But it could be, could not be. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to
It's
go
just-
do a little hunting for myself.
Interesting.
I'm just curious if I don't know if I'm the good background source for this, but that dwarven fella's journey and tale of how he got here just I I don't feel keen enough to cross-examine it, but perhaps Sindra could. I just we have a timeline told from the bartender of how long he's been here, and he named some travel points. So maybe you can see if that checks out. You know,
The timeline does line up a little bit, doesn't it? You're very clever.
yeah, that is the very first time anyone's ever said that. I'm more of just I think I'm letting the well, there feels like a lack of fun here, you know? I know I can smell fun, and no offense to Syndra, but if Syndra smoking meats has gotten so much attention and excitement, these people are well very deprived. No offense to your smoking syndrome, but you know what I mean. It's
I'm none taken. I'm not much of a cook. And then you hear Ebenezer go, "Well, I am." And he like comes over and goes, well, you do the cooking. And he starts like taking out his little spices case. He goes, well, why don't we put a little bit of like rosemary never goes wrong. You can swap it. And he
Ebenezer,
starts
why
to,
don't you take over and maybe Syndra can go meet this dwarf and
oh,
talk some
yeah,
journeys, travel.
sure, yeah, no,
You do seem a
okay.
little sharper than, well, most of us. Uh,
Well, I certainly hope so. You know,
Just it's well, you know, traveler to traveler. Perhaps ask him, you know, did he take a left somewhere that wouldn't be a right left or anything of that sort? I
all right, I'll go check him out. But like I said, I'm no like person reader. Yeah, but I'll see if he knows the roads that he took.
you know who's probably really good at reading people is Niana.
well, Deanna's very good at everything. I can't think of anything Deanna can't do. She's just so open and talented, and I but
Does seem the
yes,
case.
Silas. You were saying there's I suppose it's very good. I could go back to Rock Guzzle, Indiana, but either way.
I'm not exactly a great read of people. Most of my life, most of the people that I've met have, receiving pay from my father or my family. So it's there's a certain impetus to, you know, say yes and instead of no to me.
Absolutely, especially I can understand as your father. I'm very much of the same sort, but I while people fail me, I will never lose my belief in them. So I don't want to improperly judge this dwarf, but either way, it seems like he has done something of interest for us. You know, and
Either there's a real dragon up there, or he's mistaken, or lying. And well, it all
well,
checked out to me. I mean, if it's a real dragon up there, then all the better to know about, right?
and we know a crimson dragon, so that's
We
also
know a copperish dragon.
copper. Yes. It's just I'm learning so much from dragons.
He does
Honestly,
have a crimson bow tie, so I suppose he's
does.
a red dressed dragon.
Yeah. And my oh. Okay, so let's reconfirm with this dwarf, stable our horses, see if anything is peculiar about his journey, and if nothing is, we'll reconvene with the others at the end.
Sounds lovely to me.
The dwarf goes, "You're doing what to me?" Not kidding. Okay. He's long since gone. He took you. You guys were like talking. He just kind of like took your horses and just went off and stabled them.
Well, there goes that plan. Well then, let's all go to the end. You need a rest, Cinder. You've been working hard all morning, and now you've been cooking. And let's get an ale. And,
All right.
And I'm sure Mr. Log will be in the vicinity of the stables, at least until his work for the day ends. So if you want to follow up and pursue your plan, we're going the right direction.
yeah, Doreen will start walking towards the end.
Fantastic. Yeah, you start walking towards the inn. We'll pop back to Rock Guzzle, or actually, it's about that time to take a break. Why don't we go ahead and have a break, 5-10 minutes, and when we get back, we'll go back to the inn and see what's been going on in there.
My favorite multi-class. Oh, awesome! Welcome back.
Okay, yeah, we can hop back to it. So meanwhile, back in the tavern, what is this place called?
The orc
Uh,
something.
Yeah, the Fallen Orc Inn.
Yes.
So yeah, Nienna and Rock Guzzle, you guys are chilling in there. You have a very fine glass of wine that you could enjoy at the leisure at the promise of Sir Silas.
Yes.
And yeah, you see this dwarf adventurer. He's got like all kind, or dwarf traveler has all kinds of people just sort of like crowding around his table. And he's like, and there I was, and he's like telling the story off to the side. Is there anything you guys want to do?
A very phrase of, and there I was. Rock Guzzle's ears just prick up, and he's like, immediately just hops off his stool and runs on over to listen.
Yeah, you run over to listen. Absolutely. He goes, oh man, where is it?
Nina will follow. She doesn't
Yeah,
want
you
to sit
follow.
alone.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Oh boy, oh boy. So there it was. I saw him. I did. 8 feet tall, long white beard, wearing this giant armor, plates stacked upon plates. Never have you seen such a stalwart defense upon a giant in all your lime. You hear tales of these fire giant wearing slabs of iron. No, not like this. Magic armor. Ooh. And a great axe slung over his shoulder. Ooh. Giant make. Runes of giant magical down the side. They go, oh, he goes, this is what is no regular giant. This was Harshnag. They'll go, Harshnag? Who the fuck is Harshnag? Because you haven't heard of Harshnag. Woe be to you, traveler.
Who's Harshnag? Tell us, tell us.
All right. Oh, calm down. I'll tell you of Harshnag. Harshnag the Grim, as he is known, romps around the north, traveling here and there. They say that he once served Waterdeep. They say that he once served in what is known as Force Grey, a elite adventuring party that is meant to protect Waterdeep. They say that this was the first and only giant to ever serve at the leisure of the Blackstaff, and he served to slay his giant brethren. They say he has some ancient hatred, a fueled fury for his giant kin, and he slays them left or right. He's a great, they say, no one in all the Sword Coast has ever slayed more giants than Harshnag, a truly diresome soul. Some say he's a monster, sent by the All-Father, the father of all giants, to slay all of his giant kin as he is unhappy for what they have done. Destructive, monstrous, Harshnag wanders the wilderness with great axe in hand, seeking to lay low his evil giant brethren. Be warned. Be watching the roads. If you see Harshnag, who knows what fate's in store? Perhaps he is a monster. Perhaps he's here to help. I'd run if I were you. There's a sort of calm, sort of like a, yeah. There's like maybe like a couple of maybe not so much of applause. It feels almost like a warning, more of like a foreboding thing, and it just kind of gets quiet, and people kind of like saunter away as they sort of think on the rumor of Harshnag.
Quite the tale.
And a true one. A true one. I swear I saw him with my own eyes. I ducked for cover, I did. I knew not to face such a fearsome giant, but I knew him on sight from his description of the tales. Harshnag, the greatest and giantest of all of the members of the Force Grey, this notorious and destructive adventuring group out of Waterdeep. Best be careful if you ever run into him.
Who else was in this Force Grey?
Oh, I don't know that specifically, but they're always running, they're always doing their good work for Waterdeep. If you find yourself there, I have no doubt you could track down those legendary adventurers and see who else is in store. But Harshnag, especially in these dangerous times of giants roaming down from their mountains, Harshnag, Perhaps the most famous right now.
Yeah, we've me and Yenna here, we've encountered one of those giants.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah, we were down in Tribal when the fire giant attacked, and you probably already heard the story.
'Cause actually, I haven't. I ain't heard the story.
Well, we are me and Nienna here. We are part of the venturing party, the Wild Cards, and about almost a week now. All right, we were in Tribal when a huge, angry,
Ghastly, absolutely
great,
ghastly.
great sword-wielding fire giant came into the town, accompanied by little weird, fiery magma creatures,
Boy,
ready to burn the town to the ground.
goodness gracious. If you guys you kind of proceed to tell the tale, why don't we have Rock Guzzle make or both? So either both of you can make a performance check, or one of you at advantage can make a performance check.
Just go with advantage, Nave.
All right, cool. I'm pretty good at this, actually. Wow, I rolled bad.
Aw.
That's awful. That's a 9.
A 9 at advantage. He goes, "I, you."
Can I
he goes,
actually, you know what? I'll try and improve this. I'll use my what's it? My psychic
bolster.
knack to add a d6 to that. Come on, please.
Go for it.
That's better. That's a 15 total.
15 total, much better, much better. He goes, he in that moment he goes from not really fully buying the story to very much buying the story, and going, "That's incredible! Gracious, you fought a fire giant and you lived. They were supposed to be some of the more dangerous giants out there."
We put up a fight, that one.
My goodness. Well, if you'd be so kind, I'd love to create my own. I'd love to tell your tale on the roads. Would you be okay with that?
Certainly.
Absolutely. That
An
would be
adventuring party
amazing.
such as incredible. An adventuring party such as yours deserves to be known in the taverns of Sword Coast. The savage frontier owes you thanks, I assume. Well, I best be getting on my way, but I will be telling this tale the next tavern I come to, and the next one after that.
Before you go, there is you've heard stories. We're on to our next big adventure, really. There's a bounty out on a guy called the Weevil,
Oh,
and terrible fellow. He's been murdering, thieving. The bounty on his head is worth the same amount we got from killing a fire giant. So his crimes are just numerous. And hoping you maybe heard something of this guy.
I've seen the wanted posters here and there. I just came down. So I just came down from Mirabar up in the north. So you hear a tale about this Weevilin fellow. The murderer, isn't he?
If you think of a crime a bandit could commit, I think he did it.
Aye, horrible, horrible. I mean, I've seen my fair share of giants. Mirabar is no shortage of giants. Did you know there's a whole undercity underneath the top city? People are surprised they don't see too many dwarves, but they're looking in the wrong place. You see, under the city, that is where the dwarves be. But so you indeed so around the Mirabar area you see plenty of dwarves, but I wouldn't know if I crossed his path. I mean, I seen the posters, that wild-eyed black-beard fellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I ain't run into anyone like that.
Well,
And my
honestly,
hair is a nice brownish color, so you know it wouldn't be me.
plus,
You're far too sociable to be a terrible bandit.
Maybe I'm just a very friendly bandit.
well, the evil murdering bandit wouldn't have such a cool story to tell.
That'd be fair, that'd be fair. Alright then, well, I'm very sorry I couldn't help you with your journey, but perhaps my tale will help you in the future while you're on the road. You know, you see a slaughtered giant, perhaps Harshnag is around. Who knows? You have yourselves a good day now.
Wait, one other story. In fact, one
Oh,
you should I'll call this like a friendly tip.
All right.
Just south of Long Saddle, there's a comedy dragon.
A comedy dragon.
Yeah, he's really into dirty jokes, and he wears a bow tie.
And a bow tie. I'll be
Lovely
happy to
bow
make my-
tie.
I see. Maybe I'll have to be making my way south. Is this a friendly dragon, or is this a sort of like Joker, like Heath Ledger Joker kind of dragon? Like
he's-
tells
he's-
jokes but kills ya.
We went into his lair, and he's got like
He's a very gracious host.
He's trying to make like a kind of like a little den for people to be guests and drink and tell jokes. He's got a little curtain set up, and I reckon I think he wants to have like a stage.
Oh, a stage, a performing dragon. Pray, perhaps I shall head south and see if I can't make friends with this here dragon you've told me so much about.
His name is Vexalanthus.
Excelenthus, I'll remember the name. And obviously see if I...
Specifically wants to meet bards. He really wants
Bards,
to meet
well,
bards.
I mean, I could claim myself a bard. I told a couple stories. I happen to know some jokes myself.
Yeah, tell him the Wildcat sent you. He'll be really hospitable.
And an introduction, all right, I will tell him this. Perhaps I'll see you on the roads then, travelers. Thank you for your tips. All right, I best be going. Remember, I am Ragnall, and it has been a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
And he will, with a pep in his step, head out. It sounds like he has an objective rather than just wandering.
I hope that guy knows some good jokes, because if he doesn't, I don't know what Vex will do.
The thing you don't know that Vex kills people who don't entertain him. If they fail to entertain him, they get the acid breath. I'm not kidding. All right. With that, we will say that Derain and Sir Silas return, along with Zindra, who got pulled away from her cookout.
Hello, did we miss anything interesting?
Well, I'll give you the rundown. Roaming around the north, there might be a rather famous giant by name of Harshnag. Seems to be a giant hunter, a kinslayer of some kind. Former adventurer from Waterdeep.
Would Silas have heard of Harshnag?
Make a history check.
Alrighty. Figured being Waterhavian, it'll be worth checking. Alrighty. History. That's a 13.
13. You've heard the bedtime tale of Harshnag the Grim. He's very much sort of played out as like a you better be good or Harshnag will get you when you're a kid. But that's about it. That's as far as you know. Just sort of like Harshnag, a big mountainous frost giant. He eats up little bad boys and girls who don't listen and run off into the woods. And that's pretty much what the extent of it that you would know of Harshnag from your residence in the far north.
Right, I've heard of Harshnag. He told me to go to bed on time.
Ooh, a disciplinarian.
Well,
Very
apparently-
grim.
Apparently, he's killed more giants than anyone in the world, so we gotta catch up. I'm only half kidding. So the other thing is that he was he got here from Mirabar, and he said that if you want to find dwarves in Mirabar, you gotta check the Undercity. Which, I mean, if I was a fugitive thief and murderer, I would probably want to hide underground.
Makes sense.
Something about my goblin instincts kicking in there, going underground, being evil.
Is the gentleman that had all these stories still in?
He just left, but I sent him way of Vexillanthus. I mean, he's a bard. Excellent.
Good man.
We bards, so hey, with any luck, we'll maybe see him again.
Well, here's hoping, and I'm sure that if he's a bard, they'll get on famously.
I would still like to talk with the captain of the guard here, just to do a quick check to make sure that the evil hasn't been sighted, but it's looking
Of
like
course,
he'll still be around their bar.
So, Doreen and I were discussing and commiserating on how, in hindsight, neither of us are exactly very sharp, keen reads of people. Would some of you, and maybe dear ranger friend here, like to talk to Mr. Log and just kind of go over his story? It's a very fantastical thing, and I'm not really sure whether or not I should believe it.
Well, I love a good adventuring story,
Yeah,
and
and it's one that ended with, and everyone else that was there totally died.
Of course.
but it's both tragic and convenient. So
Exactly, and I my heart goes out for the tragedy, and yet my mind doubts the convenience.
Not to mention the Crimson Dragon he referenced.
Yeah, apparently there's a red dragon in the spine of the world, which, I mean, seems a little chilly for me, but I'm not a dragon. I don't really know, the ideal summer home for their type.
maybe me and Niana can have a talk with him.
I wouldn't mind.
Sure. And take Syndra with you just in case he mentions some geographical differences. Lay of the land, as it were. And also just check over our stabled horses, We gotta make sure they're okay. I suppose we should check on Ev, who we left cooking for the entirety of the town. I do hope they're not hungry here. I haven't checked. Are they starving? Are they hungry? That gentleman doesn't look hungry. And I point to some random guy.
Hey.
They do seem supplied.
Yeah, you guys could make a insight check to sort of discern if the town is struggling or not.
That's a 13.
21.
16. Huh.
They seem very well supplied. Nobody seems to be even unhappy here. There's no sign of like people being tense. People are just kind of living about. It seems to be like, pretty average morale for a town.
Perhaps they're just bored.
I mean, I, for one, do appreciate the odd bit of novelty now and again. It really makes my day, so I can sympathize.
Indeed.
Have we considered lodging for tonight as well? Have we put that in order? Imagine we'd be staying the night.
It would be nice. Maybe, what if, while we were in town, we maybe purchase some tents for the road?
That's a good idea.
We should also go and see what we can get for the pelts. Perhaps we can trade for something similar. It's already been made. It would take a while
Perhaps.
longer for them to make something for us. I wouldn't want to wait.
Have some winter gear off of those pumps.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Let's do it then.
Syndra goes, oh, I already sold those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like 20. It was 4 pelts. It was like 20 gold. Yeah, this one traveling guy came by and asked about them, and I sold them to him. He seemed pretty pleased with himself. Well, I kept one of them. I was gonna make some weather gear out of them. I much prefer to make my own hides,
Understandable.
It's so industrious of you.
When you're out in the wild, you can't rely on trade all the time.
Maybe I'll have to try some of that myself. Get into the spirit of the common folk.
Learn a craft.
I mean, I do actually know the basics of smithing. I did have to maintain and repair the knight that I served as a squire for his armor for a number of years. I just haven't had much reason to invest in my own until quite recently. I've had more arrows shot at me in the last 3 days than I've had in the last 6 months. So
Well, wouldn't hurt to get better armor. Even better, the feeling of accomplishment when you make it yourself.
Now, if we're gonna get you armor, it's gonna have to be in Tribor. My what my guys, he's the best guy. And love the table. I forgot his name because it's in my notepad file that disappeared. But our boy, that guy gave us the letter of recommendation and is making Durain's out of it.
well, maybe if you bring another customer, you'll get a discount instead of a debt.
Absolutely. Please, let's gather your funds, gather supplies, but no other smith can touch your armor. He's the best there is.
Well, I do admit, coming up, I used to have a bit of an allowance. I don't really have a whole lot of gold on me at this point.
Oh boy, sounds like life was real tough for you, Fancy Pants.
Truly, I'm in the pits of suffering here.
True. We well, you will have a lot more money once we return, and we have this bounty sorted out.
That is the hope. Maybe once I become a hardened bounty hunter, I'll be able to prove that I'm independent. Well, minus Ed, of course.
It'll be a start. But how's about this? We rock guzzle Nieta and Syndra, double check with our stable horses, and then we'll do a last minute tour of the shops, find some lodging, and call it a day there. Does this sound doable?
Sure. I just also want to throw out there, like, I mean, I don't do a lot of bounty hunting, but I talk to people. You know, keep in mind, if this is our guy, you don't want to, you know, be in his face too much about it, right? Like, you don't want to tip him off.
So do you think we should just?
Miena.
Oh,
I just
are you
want-
suggesting we like do a little stakeout or like?
Well,
if
let
you
me go
want,
check
like,
on my
really-
horse first.
Yeah,
course.
Hey, do whatever you want to do. I'm just putting it out there. If we're all over him, he's gonna
That's a good plan.
spook, right?
I just
May
won't
even
say-
be better to.
I just won't say the word weevil.
Maybe better to just have him think we have no consideration of him as our target. That is a good idea.
Stories. I mean, the story you told barkeeper say he's a former adventurer, right? So let's just behave like adventurers.
If someone says they survived a dragon, I'm sure everyone's going to be asking about it, right?
Well, and there's also the chance that he is telling the truth, and we keep poking at a wound that's still fresh. If I lost all of you, I don't know if I'd be able to talk about it for weeks.
Yeah, if I lost all of you, I don't know if I'd be able to talk about it for like a couple hours.
I mean, I understand the suffering he's going through. I did just lose a horse.
You shall pat him on the back.
Oh, yeah, losing a horse must be, very hard. Like, almost comparable to losing 3 close friends.
He was a wizard that he met on the road.
I'll say something about that. Tell us about this dragon. Maybe we can go slay it instead. Avenge your friends and see how you're.
Not a bad
No.
idea.
Durant stands up. I need to run to a tree very quickly because I have to run real quick for a second. So, okay.
I forgot that he
Okay.
did that. It's so mysterious.
Yes,
Mm,
me and Niana will go. Well, Niana and Cinder will go speak with Larg.
All right. Yeah, let's do it. So all right, so Rock Guzzle, Nienna, and Zindra are going to go talk to the dwarf.
Yep.
Okay. You guys head over there. Man, there's just so much stuff.
Oh, before she leaves the bar, is there any way she can possibly grab like a sugar cube or so or two?
Yeah, the barkeep hands you what you're looking for. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just trying to very complicated thing here. There we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Yeah, you guys make your way over to the stables. You guys. Oh, where the fuck did your? Oh, right, they're on the wrong layer. There we go. I think we lost a horse, didn't we? No, this is the right amount. You
Looks
guys
right.
have
We lost
no.
one, but gained two.
Yeah,
So
you
we are
lost.
net up a horse, I guess. And then,
Y- uh, that is right.
Maybe we
So
lost
your
two. I thought we lost
horse
one, and the other one ran
no,
away.
no, we lost one, and then we managed to get to the session before from the bandits.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So you guys have 4 horses, 1 axe beak right now. With I believe so, yeah.
That sounds
Because
right.
you had 1 for every party member and NPC, and now you're down 1. Okay, cool. Sorry, just it's going crazy. Yeah, you guys all head over there. You look and you see your creatures are properly stabled, without issue. You would indeed see the dwarf in there, this sort of black-haired, mangy dwarf, heavily bearded. And he's just sort of like taking off all of their tack and just sort of like putting it on the nearby like holsters. And he turns around and says, "Hello, can I help you?"
Oh, I just wanted to see my horse for a minute. If that's okay, may I?
This is your horse?
The black one.
All right.
The name is Shuffle.
What?
Shuffle.
Oh, sure. Cool. He kind of just like keeps an eye on you guys while you tend to them because he's never seen you 3 before, and you're claiming they're your horses. So he lets you do it, but he just kind of keeps an eye on all of you.
You know, we'll just pet her horse and feed her the sugar cube and be all nice to the horse.
Like,
He goes,
hang around
"So, who
the-
here
line.
rides the axe beak?"
Oh, that would be a friend of ours.
Oh, all right. Just curious. Never seen. Not usually a civilized mount.
This one seems to be fairly mild mannered. As far as axe beaks go, at least.
Hey, fair enough. I'm not judging. Just surprising. That's all.
So, are you from here?
No, just staying in town for
Okay.
for a time.
Passing through, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll pass through soon enough, I'm sure. Just kind of making some coin. Just, you know, working as one
Oh,
does.
mm-hmm. Oh, we're up from Tribor.
Good. It's I heard. I don't know. I heard there was some trouble down there somewhere.
Yes, fire giant.
Oh, fire giant. That's fucking rude. I'm sorry to hear that.
And where are you from, if I may ask?
I'm from all around. Nowhere in particular. Just kind of keep on the road.
Insight check?
Sure.
13.
13. You don't get the hint of like he's clearly being evasive. Just doesn't seem to want to tell you where he's from. You're not like, there's no like,
Oh, no, of
yeah,
course.
don't worry about it. There was none of that. But yeah, he just doesn't want to talk about where he comes from. So he's kind of being a little evasive.
Well, it seems that Shuffle is very happy here, so well done, I suppose.
Thanks. I mean, yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate the compliment.
The whole time she's
Uh,
talking, she's like finger combing the mane and petting
yeah,
the
yeah.
horse. And
He sort of gestures over to like there's a like a horse brush, sort of like on a nearby like shelf. So he
oh,
like just gestures. He's like,
thank
you can
you,
use that
thank
if you
you.
want.
Hmm.
Zindra goes, so if you're on the road so long, why are you working in a stable? If you don't mind my asking. I mean, place is sounds kind of boring for a traveler. Goes, well, I mean, I was an adventurer. And just kind of getting back on my feet. Goes,
Entry, you got any stories? I'd like to hear,
I make a persuasion check. See if he's willing to talk about uh recent
a 22.
Nice.
22. He goes, you might have heard of it if you've gotten your horses stabled here. Our Zastra likes to speak. I actually was an adventurer way up in the valley of Kedron, and I was with my band of adventurers, and we were hunting this red dragon, and it did not go well for me and my friends, and I am the last survivor. I kind of just been wandering ever since, and Arzostra was kind enough to give me somewhere to sort of lay my head.
Oh my goodness. Were you badly injured?
I was, for a time, but I've mostly recovered my physical wounds.
I'm
I
so sorry for your loss.
so that's thank you. Appreciate you saying so. Syndra says, "Well, why are you here at the keep? I mean, like, why not Mirabar? Isn't that a lot closer to the valley?" Oh, well, yeah, I thought about it. I just, um, um, you see, my family's there, and after what happened, I just couldn't couldn't face them. My friends' families and such. Just didn't have the heart, so I kind of just kept going.
Insight check.
Okay, go ahead.
He said he met all of his friends on the road, didn't he?
It's a
Yep.
19.
So 19. He has the posture of someone who's kind of scrambling for an answer. Zinder says,
Yeah.
I thought you said you weren't from any, like you just traveled, but you're from Mirabar, is what you're saying. I was, oh, I was born in Mirabar, but, you know,
You didn't, you, you didn't tell their families?
no, to my shame, I didn't have the heart to go back there and face all of that. I probably will go back one day, but for now, here I am.
But surely that means that the families still think their loved ones are still alive.
Well, we're heading to Mirabar. If you could provide us the names of the people, perhaps we could deliver the news.
I think that's something I ought to do myself, rather than trust to strangers.
Well, perhaps you would like to join us so you don't have to travel alone.
I think I'm quite fine here. I'm quite ready to, not quite ready to leave. I'm content here for now.
Okay. Once again, I'm very sorry for your loss, and thank you once again for watching our horses.
Thanks.
I'm gonna establish a psychic connection with Zindra and Niana.
Absolutely.
This one matters, but where is it? Yeah, 5 hours. I kind of meant I telepathically kind of tell them that makes no sense. He won't tell the families of the dead, but he also is just here. I
Zindra
don't
will
get it.
say, also, the valley of Calbrin is west of Mirabar, so basically he walked all the way east to Mirabar, and then didn't go into Mirabar after a several-day journey, and went right south to Xanthar's Keep out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Not to mention his answers aren't quite. They don't seem quite honest. They seem as though he's grasping at straws.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a point in the bounty collection process where you kind of tie someone up and get some real answers out of them.
Hmm.
But I'm sure that's all for you to all decide. My job's to get you here, not to. I don't know.
No, of course. Well, let's walk out. Keep an
I
eye.
would like the three of you to make a deception check, because you were sort of. You were laying the questioning in pretty decently.
15.
14.
2. What was that? 15 and 14.
14.
Okay, 14 and 14. 14, 14, and 2. We're gonna average all that out.
It's an average of 10.
Perfectly average.
So he's sort of looking at you all, just kind of like. You can see, like, clearly uncomfortable by the level of questioning. Zindra herself being like, not really like you guys kind of fluffed it up a little bit, but she was really like, so
You're full
you're a
of shit.
bar, huh? Yeah, it's a little more direct. She's not the most charismatic individual. Yeah. So he's like, is there anything else I could do for all of you?
Oh no, sorry. I'm finishing up here. And she finishes brushing the horse and
All right, just
then away.
leave the brush when you're done.
Of course, thank you.
And he sort of exits the stable. Zindra's like, yeah, he's, I don't know.
Do you have any way
So-
of possibly tracking him while he's not in our sight?
Yeah, it's called tracking him.
All right. Perhaps keep an
I mean,
eye.
if you want me to do like a sort of stakeout situation, I can if you want. I mean, you hired me.
Yes. At least
All
until we
right.
get back.
I will keep my eye on him.
I could. I'm loath to it. It's a suggestion, but we could do Operation off of there again.
I suppose.
Zindra will walk out and kind of like look around, sort of enter into like stalking mode, basically.
The stocky ranger. Well, let's go to inform the others as to what we discerned from this conversation.
You go talk to them. I'll watch from another location.
Okay.
Out of character, is the stable like connected to the inn, or is it a little bit down the road?
It's just sort of behind the inn. Like, the
Okay.
inn is here. Stable's just here, just like sort of across the way.
Got it.
So we'll return to Doraine and Sir Silas. And quick. Oh no, Nina actually doesn't mind. I've already leveled her up. Cool. So what about you two? What are you doing?
I think. Are there windows in the inn? I haven't quite. I think there's like maybe one or two.
No, there's a couple windows. Most walls have windows. Shutters are open.
If there is one with a view of the stable, I think Silas will be maybe ordering like a light little lunch, and just sort of watching the stable for whenever people start filing out, because we know that they're in there asking questions and being smarter than we are about it. So he's kind of like waiting to see whenever that starts kind of dispersing, I guess.
Got it. 3 silver for sort of like a light lunch, sort of like a
Mhm.
flavor lunch more than anything. You had a lot of meat this morning, and
Salad.
yeah,
Lorraine had
yeah.
returned from his
I
little
got a
thing.
salad.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
Durain returns from going to the bathroom.
Um,
And you guys just sort of like settle into a seat near the window that sort of onlooks the stable. And yeah, you see the 3 adventurers sort of come out, and you see Rockguzzle and Zindra sort of like tear off from Nienna and kind of inconspicuously make their way to sort of shadowed corners. And Nienna will return.
Silence. I feel one of us, well, us being the wild cards, should tell Astra that we believe her new hire might not be who she believes he is, so we don't just seem like we're
Stalking
grabbing her
employee.
stalking her employee. I don't know. I'm worried. You know,
Well, I'd be happy to break it to her.
you might be breaking it to her, or you might be. Um, I don't, she seemed nice and rough, and I don't imagine. Well, I just hope she's not hiding him. Willingly, knowingly.
Well,
If,
tell you what,
if
I
it is the
will.
case.
I'll head over to her and I'll be on my utterly best behavior. And
I can be quite persuasive myself.
of course.
You start using this above the table. You start using this +6 persuasion more often.
Miss Arastra,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she says, "Hey, what can I do for you?"
I'm
That was weird.
so terribly sorry to bother you, but can we talk with you for just a moment?
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Do you have somewhere a little more private? Nothing untoward. Just hoping to uh, get your thoughts on a matter that we're looking into.
You see, like some of the tavern people sort of around, kind of like, like trying to pretend that they're not hearing. And she goes, is there something wrong?"
No, just in my experience, whenever going through any town, it's always the best notion to speak with the innkeeper because they are the ones that see everyone coming through.
That's true. All right. Well, why don't we step outside, I guess?
Yeah. So yeah.
So you guys kind of step outside. Nienna can join you
Okay.
as you step outside with the innkeeper. She very much like goes off to the side with you guys, but like stays in full view of like the guards in the courtyard or whatever. She's kind of like a little nervous. She goes, "All right, I'm here.
Right.
What's wrong?"
So
Before I just wanted to say you've been lovely. You're in this great place. So there's nothing of that sort. It's just if anything, we're here for your protection, really. But
yeah, it's
that's
out of
fine.
appreciation for the wonderful service and company you provided, and the inn that you so graciously opened up to us. That we're wanting to be forthright with you on this. The new stable hand you hired, you haven't known him long, correct? Just a few weeks.
That's right, just a few weeks.
Um, we have cause to believe that he may be not quite who he says he is. Uh, would that be right to say, Nienna?
Yes. Yes. There is something little suspicious about his story.
Of course. And given that you've served us, you've poured drinks for us, you've listened to us talk around the table. Um, it would not be surprising if he were to ask you about us. And for your own protection and safety and well-being, uh, please be circumspect.
What does that mean?
We believe that Mr. Larg has more than likely killed people.
What? Kill people? I mean, he's just a
This,
stable hand. I mean, what are you talking about?
Insight check.
oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
15.
Dean? She seems nervous of all of you. She's kind of a couple of very heavily armed strangers, sort of like, taking her outside. She seems, if it is a lie, she seems genuinely in belief of that lie.
Okay.
But she's very surprised by the information that's being presented
have you
and not
seen
understanding the big words.
Have you seen the wanted posters around town?
I, the Weevil? The Weevil posters?
Yes, we think that there's a good chance, or at least a chance, that the Weevil and Mr. Larg are one and the same. And we don't want you to think that we're intending any ill intent to you or your establishment.
Whoa. You have any proof of this? You're accusing my employee of something pretty hard stuff.
Well,
I understand.
he hasn't yet reported the deaths of his comrades to the families. When he was coming here from the valley, he did not go through Mirabar. He avoided the town completely, which is where the crimes were originating from, and came straight here instead.
Well, I mean, everyone deals with grief in strange ways. I mean,
We're not saying that it's impossible, that this is just one of the stranger ones we've seen. It's just, if this is someone who is so willing to do harm to those around him for his own gain, we do not want you or your patrons or your inn to come to any harm. So please, as we look into this and try and ascertain whether he is innocent and just a man dealing with cowardice and grief in his own way, or if he is truly the one that we're looking for, just keep it quiet, and if he asks, do not let him know what we're looking into.
make me a persuasion check, Sir Silas. I will give you advantage as your party has backed you up here and there.
Yeah.
You want us to all roll persuasion?
Just Sir Silas. He's took the lead on this one.
I'm going to add a commanding presence to this.
All right. He's a murderer.
Do not trust this man.
Have you seen this man?
That'll be a 16.
16. She goes, I can't believe it. Larg is the Weevil? She says this quietly. She goes, I can't believe it. Like, Larg is a murderer? This is like, I've been harboring a murderer? I could hardly believe it.
We think he might be. We don't have hard proof. We're hoping to get that soon. And
I promise you, if I had no idea if he was this
Of course,
criminal.
of course,
You're
we
not
believe you
implicated.
You are not
completely.
under investigation in any way.
All right. I mean, dude, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go talk to the Lord?
That's a good idea.
I think, given that Rock Guzzle seems to have disappeared into thin air again, I assume that he's keeping an eye on things. So we
Yes.
may talk to the Lord. We might just get some rope and have some more thorough questions.
I really feel. Wow, this is I can't believe.
We'll work
this.
with the town. Do not worry
Of
about that.
course.
Yeah, I definitely feel comfortable if you were willing to work with the town, or at least let him know what's going on and let him. I'm just an
Can you point
innkeeper.
us-
I don't know a lot about this.
Can you point us in the Lord's direction?
Yeah, and points to the points to the giant keep in the middle of the in the middle of the
The
square.
biggest house.
Yeah, it'll be the biggest house with the giant fortifications and the guards.
Is Nienna within range of Rodguzzle and
Well, it's like a mile, so I think yeah, you can communicate. with
okay,
Rocco
so I'm
Zone,
just
yeah.
gonna communicate with them what we're learning or what we're doing here, and so they're in the
Right.
loop.
Yeah, Rocco, you receive an update.
I see anything suspicious from Log? Is he doing anything wrong? Is he killing a horse right now?
Well, where were you hiding? Just sort of like outside, just somewhere else where Zindra was?
I mean, I can see where Zindra is, so I'm trying to like cover like I guess a spot where she can't see, so maybe on the other side of the stable, like if there's like a back door or something, just somewhere like just so that we have
Use, like,
all
a small
possible
creature.
exits covered. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of hide out. No, nothing really. Not that you've seen. You haven't seen him exit the farmstead. The stable doesn't actually. There's like no door that like lets you get into the main house from the stable. You kind of have to like leave the stable, go around, and go into the main house. So you haven't seen him leave the main house since he went in. Zindra says, well, I can keep an eye on things if you want to see what's going on, Ratguzzle.
So there's the only exit is the one that Zindra's looking at, basically. Are there any windows?
There is the main door, and then there is a window on that wall, and then there are a number of windows across the way. Cinder says, I can there's a lot of guards to hide on the roof, but she'll kind of like walk over to where you are, and she'll say, I'll do like a perimeter. Don't worry, I'll keep a close eye on things. If you want to join
Alright.
another party, but if you want to stay, I don't mind. Whatever you want to do.
If we're talking to the captain, then I'd like to have words. Keep me updated. The telepathy will be going on for a few hours yet.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, she'll just kind of like wander. Maybe she'll even like hide over here so she can like be underneath the guards but still keep an eye through a window. But she very much enters stealth and does a good job. And you know her to have very keen. She's got the keen senses feature, so she has advantage on perception checks. So she's got a good eye on the place. So yeah, if you guys want to go talk to the Lord as a group, you absolutely can.
That's,
All right. Well, I'm gonna go back to tending the tavern. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know. I'll keep things quiet.
Of course.
But,
And thank you. The only thing you're guilty of is giving kindness to a stranger, and that is no
what's
bad
the punishment
thing to
for that?
my admiration.
Oh, you're being funny. Okay. Good one. I will. Thank you. I'll just. I'll go back to working. Keep me in the loop, I guess.
Will do.
She sort of walks in. She definitely does like one of these to get in the door. She's fucking huge.
well then, to the Lord. I believe we should just be forthright and direct with them.
Of course. Do you want me to flash the signet? Should I make this
Yeah.
all official?
Of course. We've,
All right.
Yeah.
So there's two things to remark as you guys are getting to the door. The first is which the sun is going down. It is getting quite late. But like you see the stalls starting to close up and everything is starting to get into the later hours. You also see a lot of people walking around with like meat on a stick. Like lots of people. And they're just having it like a ton. Like everybody's got like either like a leg of something, like some meat on the bone, or they've got like a stick with some meat on it. And it's like the carnivals in town, but it's like a meat carnival.
it's
That's a great idea for a horror game. Anyway.
Really, I am reminded every day that Ebb is too priceless a treasure for my company.
Ebb has opened up McDonald's.
Brazilian
Incredible.
steakhouse experience.
Yep. It seems that he's been selling off lots and lots of food. You guys get to the door and the guards say, "Oh, state your business."
I am Sir Silas Morven of the Wild Cards, Knight of Waterdeep. We are here to have an audience with the Lord of the Keep.
Oh, a knight, huh? Well, sort of like looks around. You maybe do like a sort of like that situation. No, but you could like show them your scroll of pedigree or whatever you wish to
Yeah.
do, and they'll be like, "All right, yeah, just wait a moment. We'll go get Lord Horn." He walks into the keep and returns with a dwarf with a black beard and a wild look in his eye. He says, he comes out. He's got a great axe sort of strapped to his back. He is wearing very fine dwarven plate armor, very knightly himself in appearance. And he says, "I heard that there is another knight down here.
That'll be
Want me to-
myself and also Sir Derain here.
I see. Two knights, then, all right. Well, I am Lord Narbeck Horn, here of Xantharl's Keep. This station is my purview to protect. It's an honor to meet other stalwart knights on the road. Is this your retinue?
These are my friends.
Very kind of you to say, Sir Silas. Very kind of you. Speaks well of you. He sort of like looks at the goblin, kind of. Very kind of you indeed. Now, what can I do for you two fine knights on the road?
Well, Lord Horn, I am a knight of House Morven. Derain is a knight of the wood. Is that a good way to phrase it?
I prefer the vine, but that's great.
Knight of the Vine.
I like
Oh,
that.
you're one of them hedge knights.
Yes,
Ah.
it's a very enjoyable pairing I've found so far.
Yeah.
We are here in town on the trail of a wanted man, and we believe that he is here. We simply wanted to inform you before action was taken of our intent to act on this.
I see. State your intent and state who it is you're traveling and tracking. Is it this Weevil fellow we've heard so much from up north?
It is.
And you think he's in town?
With a reasonable degree of certainty. Yes.
Well, I do appreciate you informing the local lord. It would be the right and proper way of doing things, Sir Silas, so good on you. I expect you mean to take this criminal as your bounty.
And I believe deliver him to Mirabar, yes.
Very well. Do you have any proof of his evil identity?
A fair Niana, I believe you and
Yes, my lord. His story does not quite match up with not only the terrain around here in Mirabar, but his just in the manner of which he spoke it.
I see. And this is your evidence? Is
The
circumstantial hearsay?
And the timing is convenient.
Well, I would say these are certainly grounds to investigate further, but I'll have no deaths in my keep, or any sort of forms of torture upon those who have not been deemed truly criminal.
Of course.
if he is the wrong man and his story is true, then he is in part responsible for the deaths of 5 of his companions, and he has seen fit to flee Mirabar and not inform the families of their passage.
I see.
So either way, I think we are rather obligated to deliver him back home.
Well, I'll tell you this. If this man be innocent, then I expect you will treat him as any other innocent man in the world. There's no crime against not informing families of dead loved ones, though disreputable it may be. So if you find that you have very good, solid grounds and evidence to support that this man is indeed the Weevil, then I give you grounds to take him into your custody to deliver him to Mirabar as your bounty. But otherwise, he's to be treated as any other innocent man. Is that understood?
Of
Of course.
Hear you
good.
loud and clear.
Very good. Well, there's nothing else. I have much work to do, but it's been a pleasure to meet you, Sir Silas of Waterdeep.
And you as well, Lord Horn. It has been a pleasure to make your acquaintance and an honor for you to spare your time for us.
Very well. And he will return back to his keep and continue doing Lord stuff.
Rodguzzle,
Yes.
would it be possible to establish a link with him? Larg.
Yes, I could. Although, what are you getting at?
Well, if he is indeed guilty, I'm certain that it would flash in his mind.
I don't think I was clear enough the last time. I can't see your thoughts. It's not. It's
No,
like
but you can hear my thoughts.
Yeah, but it's like I kind of use the telepathic link saying it's just like talking in your head. I can't hear. If you want to like think something and not have, if I want to think something and not have you hear it, I can still do that.
It's
Oh,
like writing a letter on the fly.
I'm not prying into your mind, and you can't pry into mine.
Quickly sending text, perhaps.
I don't see Syndra here, so I imagine you all sent her scouting or something.
She's staking out the stables. Yeah.
Well, then let's set up lodging and wait till we hear back from Syndra. We do need to realize that there just as much as there's glory if we're right, there will be plenty of egg on our face if we're wrong. So we should.
If there's proof of his deeds, it would be in his belongings. I most likely believe. If one is a terrible bandit, they do tend to amass a certain amount of plunder, right?
Yes,
So,
I imagine he's living at any moment he might leave, so he definitely will have a lot of personal belongings.
but
To
if he
take.
is guilty indeed, he may not like the questioning we've been doing and may perhaps look to depart the city or the town.
perhaps we should apprehend him non-lethally, of course, and search his belongings, not to steal, but simply to see if there is hard evidence, whether that's ill-gotten gains or trophies or some personal token.
The Lord.
Surely we'd get the evidence first. I don't feel taking him. I don't feel safe just taking him yet.
The
Yeah.
Lord specified that we have to treat him as innocent until evidence appears. I feel like possibly searching him is that a crime? I'm not familiar entirely with your human laws. Is like searching a guy against his will a crime?
Well,
I feel like that's a crime.
if we find proof,
It's not a crime anymore.
you see, lawyers haven't been invented yet, and
They have actually.
oh,
Canonically,
terrible! What a horrible time to be in.
Oh, terrible.
Acquisitions.
My noblesse oblige.
That's funny.
If we can get him to leave his room, perhaps we could search his room while he's out.
Yes, I mean, I do mean this in all kindness, Rockguzzle. You are extremely small. I think you could fit through any window in this entire town.
And you're jingle free.
I am
It's true.
jingle free. So we are doing Operation Off of here again. Okay. Just as long as we are totally clear on this.
Oh, do I get to play? Do I get to be a distraction? Can I play an instrument badly? Can I start a poker game?
Whatever gets him out of the house for a relatively long period of time, then yeah, I can go search around.
I somehow doubt he went to go on a date.
No, we'll. I believe if, and this seems more dangerous, but Rocco's, if you are to do this, it's going to be more of a solo operation, as we do the guards and the mayor do know we're here and our intentions now. So that I believe if the majority of us are acting more normal and by the rules, that give you an opening, Rocco. But you have signal.
Something that does align nicely is the town does seem to be in the throes of some sort of meat festival at the moment. That might be a wonderful distraction.
Pick it
That
up a notch.
would probably help.
I could encourage Mr. Log to come sample Eb's wares.
Maybe it'd be better coming from the barkeep. Like, hey, go take a break. Go get some meat or something. To that effect.
Certainly.
Gathering the whole town there is less specific to him. Doesn't focus in on him as much. So that seems right. We can make it a spectacle. There's still some hours left in the night, though. We are getting close to the sleep time, and there have been a lot of townspeople with sticks of meat. So they might. The thought of more meat might just be, well, too much meat. You know.
Well, there's probably a butcher in town. What if we just bought a nice side of beef? Kept it going?
A nice side of beef.
Well, it's not so much the meat that's the issue. It's the ones hungry for it. Who else? I feel like the entire town is eating at this point.
Well, I imagine that not all of the guards have given their shifts, at the very least. Maybe we could convince some of them as they come off of their next patrol rotation.
Well, in any case, we have a go ahead to investigate, so we're allowed to do whatever that that entails. Are you up for this, Rocco? We if we don't want to volunteer you, but you are. I can't sneak around. That's for sure, for certain. I stand out.
Hey, I've got a particular set of skills that are useful for things like this. And look, if we're wrong, I snooped around an innocent guy's place for a few minutes. I won't take anything. I'll just be snooping. I'll just be doing a bit of looking around, nothing.
Do you think he's likely rooming at the inn? Yes.
There's like a. He seems to be staying like in the stables. There's like a second building attached to where the horses are. That's where he went inside anyway.
So it's not even his property. If Arastra were to allow us while he was gone, we wouldn't even have to be trespassing.
That could work. Will Arastra go along with that?
I believe so.
I like to think we're rather charming. Just look at Derain. How can you say no to him?
He smiles.
Well, let's give that a shot then. I mean, if we can avoid, crimes I'd like to, or pseudo crimes.
Yeah, given the reception you've received in a few places, I'd rather not put you at additional risk if we can avoid it.
Yeah, that's just ask Arastra then. To the tavern.
Alrighty.
For the tavern! Hey! All right, you guys get to the tavern. Yeah, your entrance brings a small amount of anxiety very clearly to the ogre. Just, oh hey, you're good to see you. What can I do for?
We are, yes. Arastra, My retainer, my friend Eb, has been cooking up a wonderful, just a real smorgasbord of meat. Quite the variety. Most of it's cat, but very juicy, large cat. We're thinking about buying some beef, maybe some pork. Would you and any of your staff like to maybe take a break and swing down? It's none of it's charged. You can have as much as any of you like. Maybe Mark could attend, or any of your other servers if you have any.
Well, if Lard's a murderer, I don't want to spend any time with Lard.
I know, but if with your
What if he
permission,
finds out that he knows that I know that you all know it? What if he decides he gets angry and murders me?
well, you'd be surrounded by people with plenty of witnesses, so I don't think he'd take that chance. You're quite safe in public, and if you can get him out of there, and with your permission, if we can search where he stays in the stable, we may be able to find the evidence we need to properly apprehend him, and then you'll have nothing to worry about at all.
Make a persuasion check. See if she's willing to. This was a more difficult one. You're trying to convince her to go hang out with the murderer.
Yeah. It's a good roll. That's a 15 natural, but I'm going to add another commanding presence to that, just in case.
Hang out with the murderer.
Okay, so that's an 8 on the maneuver die. So that's 15 plus 4 plus 8. So that's a 27.
Fucking that'll do it. Wow, against all logic and reason, I feel like putting myself in danger is not the right thing to do.
You'll be the hero of the story, believe me.
Yeah, I'll be the hero of the story, and I value that more than my life. All right, okay. When are we doing this? Right now?
Yeah.
No time like the present, while the fire's still hot and the meat's still fresh.
All right. What if he says no? What if I go and I ask him and he says he doesn't want to?
Tell him it's free.
Is it free?
You are his boss, you know.
It is free.
And denying dinner with the boss, that just seems disrespectful. You built this establishment. This is your domain. Move it.
Okay. I'll try. I'll do my best.
If his story's true, he might even appreciate it, the gesture of kindness.
That's
okay. Ready to go right now. Okay, here I go. Zindra kind of walks out. You hear Rakazzle from Zindra. The bar keeps going to the stable.
Yeah, we're trying to get Log out of the house by having the barkeep take him to where Eb's cooking meat so we can search the place.
Got it. And she'll head over there. You'll hear Rosie.
Similar for ogres is weird.
Curly brown.
Well, you guys don't see that. That's more what Zindra sees. But she'll make a persuasion check. See if she can coax him out from his lair.
Alright.
She rolls a natural 19. Zindra says, "Parker has left the residence. Over." You want me to go snoop, or am I waiting for you guys?
Once they're out of sight, we'll come and join you.
All right. They go. Okay. So in like the heist videos, it's like, okay, here's the plan. There's like the, or like the whatever, and like the heist music comes on. It's like, so this is what we're gonna do. Innkeeper, and then we're, unbeknownst to the dwarf, we're gonna start a meat stand outside of the city. He'll be just love the meat, which is basically the plan and works apparently.
Rod I'm beginning to understand the appeal of being a carny.
Me too.
All right, let's go. Go.
I'm glad that Rockuzzle's like so even tempered because I feel like this day's just been full of backhand compliments.
I'll stay.
Um,
I'll stay watch, and let you know if I see them coming back.
Gotcha.
Zindra says, "Do you want me to follow them, or do you want me to go inside with you guys?"
Come inside with us. We'll need your keen eyes. I think I'm not the best when it comes to I'm good at breaking in, not so good at like looking for stuff. You know.
Now,
Got it.
someone should be at the stand to make sure. Well, keeping an eye on them is important. Letting you know when they're coming back.
Niana, you do that because you can
Sounds good.
telepathically tell me.
Yes, I shall.
Alrighty then. You guys all make your way over there. The door's unlocked. It is a stable sort of, you look at the sense there's a ton here of magnificent value. Apparently there's an extra farmer in the wall. You guys sort of walk inside. You see very, very simple steadings. I have beds in here, but there aren't beds, guys. There are puffs of hay sort of laid about that serve as, bedding. Do. You guys come in, very simple furniture, like handmade wood chairs, an old table, some plates, some stuff laying around, very sort of simple, sort of farmhand kind of accommodations.
All right. Looking for anything that might tie him to the name the Weevil or Warned Brigand. Alternatively, anything that would imply that he did actually get attacked by a red dragon, I guess.
The books always told me, like if there'd be an incriminating diary, for instance.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig around for personal belongings that stand out.
Yeah.
Silas will probably poke around in some of the hay, just to see if it's being used to hide anything.
Got it.
I'll check one of these like side rooms, see if there's like any contain. Like I guess actually there's like a trunk there, right? Let me check that.
All right, you go to this one trunk to open it up. You do see you open it up. There's no like locks on anything. This isn't a particularly well, it's got his stuff in it as far as you can tell. You see that there is a very fine hand axe inside. It's got sort of dwarven markings on the side of it, like sort of magical runes. You get the sense that this is a magic axe. There's also a suit of studded leather armor underneath that does look a little battle worn. No burns per se, but definitely looks like it's seen some action. Some old clothes, an explorer's pack will be present. That's pretty much it.
Well, I'm not going to deny that his belongings could either belong to a veteran adventurer or a bandit. It's amazing how our gear is almost exactly the same.
That's a very impressive looking axe, though.
It is.
It is sort of like underneath everything else, being the most valuable item in the trunk, you presume.
Is there anything individually distinctive about the axe? Just asking because Silas is technically a trained smith.
Certainly. This is fun. Give me a moment, and I'll let you know. And I'll open up this book too to get you some extra info. Okay, I want you to make me an Arcana check. I will give you advantage because of your proficiency with Smith's tools.
Alrighty. That is a 10.
Ooh.
That is a 10. Blah, 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 blah. There's some. All right. Well, you're not going to learn a lot about this, unfortunately.
That's okay.
Let's see here. You learn that this is a +1 hand axe. That is the magical enchantment that's been placed onto it. It is
Mhm.
slightly. It is magically weighted so that its accuracy and its like actual thrust, like even if you like hold it, you can sort of feel like when you kind of even just barely sort of like swing it, it has like even like a little extra thrust to it and almost seems to like self-adjust itself to kind of find its target a little bit better almost. So it's a +1 hand axe of dwarven make. That's what you would get out of it.
Okay. Well, it's definitely Dwarven made. I'm given to doubt that he made it himself, so the most likely place for him to have gotten it was Mirabar.
It does look a little worn. Like it looks like it's had some use to it. Doesn't look like recently
Oh,
made.
also rather
no,
antique.
no diary though.
No, there was no diary that says I am Weevil. I have committed many murders. This is stark and real evidence of my crimes.
Or even a diary about what happened to him and his friends.
No, nothing of the
Does-
like.
Okay.
Any,
I will also put out there that you guys are super cool adventurers and apparently are like bilingual, trilingual, like crazy fucking people. But most people don't know how to read or write, especially farmhands. This guy was an adventurer though, so he probably does. But regardless, there is no no journals, no written documents.
Is the floor like paved like cobblestone? Is it packed dirt?
Inside the stable here,
Yes.
in this main house, it's wood.
Can Silas just kind of take his halberd from his shoulder and just kind of tap the floor here and there just to see if there's any like hollowed out spaces?
Yeah, make me an investigation check
Sure
to see
thing.
if you could find any sort of elevated floorboards.
Oh, a flat D20 roll. My favorite. It's a 6.
It's a 6. No, sorry.
That's
Zinder
okay.
walks around. She's sort of looking indoors in rooms behind barrels and stuff too, trying to find anything of
Yeah, like
interest.
well,
Is like is the armor, the axe, and the explorer's pack literally everything he has? Does he not have any like gold or even maybe even the personal effects of like his alleged companions?
He doesn't have any sort of like personalized effects as far as you can tell, but he ooh, what was that for? Gold? Yes, he does have a small he has like 5 gold and a lot more copper. He has like 5 gold in a pouch. Or actually, now that I think of it, no, I'm gonna say he has like 2 gold and like 12 copper. We were told by the barkeep that she was paying him in like coppers. Like he's not making much here, so he's not doing well to himself.
Well, he was like a successful bandit. He does not have much to show for it now.
Unless it's hidden somewhere.
I'm starting to suspect he may not be our target.
Maybe.
I should check out outside. Hope they're not approaching soon.
Nothing
Oh,
from
yeah.
Niana so far.
Oh yeah, Niana's on the. Yeah, Niana, you're surprised. It's like rib fest out
I
here.
was about
Like,
to say, is it like Rip Fest?
people are loving what's going, and he is spending. He's like making money for all the rations. He's oh yes, over here, Craig cat meat, yes, freshly killed. And he's like serving it up to everybody. People are like, oh, pretty good. Was that rosemary? He goes, it is rosemary. And yeah, people are loving it. There's like a huge line. He's like, come on, and he's just like cooking out about 140 pounds of like Craig cat meat. And yeah, luckily for you, Niena, it is a bit of a line, so they will be a minute before they get here. They're just kind of like standing in line. You do see that the dwarf does, as he didn't have before, he does have an axe at his hip. The top of the blade is actually covered by like the side of his coat, but you can see the haft sort of sticking out from under his shirt,
Mm.
or from his belt loop. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll check some walls like Silas did with his great farm.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Can I give the help action?
I'm gonna say that you've been busy
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
your own
that's fair.
personal investigation.
That's 12.
That's a 12. You find no sign of any sort of floorboards or secret sort of hiding spaces, unfortunately.
Ron
So
Guzzle,
yes,
if you
shitty
were to
though.
hide something, where would you put it?
I mean, floorboards maybe, or maybe inside the hay.
Hmm.
Or
What are we
maybe
looking for
even
exactly here, guys?
anything that might imply that this guy is indeed the Weevil, or it's not gonna have papers telling you, "Hello, I am Warner Briggan, the Weevil."
Anything
Ah.
unusual, trophies, hidden treasure?
Well, if I might say, if I had like stuff I was trying to keep hidden from people that was like of big relevance, I mean, I'm a ranger. You know, like I'm
Hmm.
more naturalist thinking. I'd bury it somewhere outside the city. You know, like why would I keep it
Hmm.
close, especially if I don't need it and it's gonna get me in a lot of trouble?
Uh,
That's just me.
Is there a
Hmm.
map inside of his pet inside of his
There
stuff?
is,
Is there like a
unfortunately.
is there an area marked?
No, there's no map, no area mark. Everything in here is very sort of like very simple, basic. It's like he just left the adventuring guild where they give you your 20 feet of rope and rations and send you on your way to go adventure. He's got sort of like the basic gear in there for sure.
Um. So Silas is racking his brain. Um. Would he have any familiarity with if there is like a legal process for apprehending this person, just to ask questions? Um. Is there a procedure in place for moments like this whenever you're after a bounty? But
Go ahead and make me, let's call it a history check to see, because bounty hunting is
hmm,
certainly something that I think would have drawn your interest. It's something that you ought to know about.
yeah.
Not usually the business of knights, but you know.
Let's see, history. That would be a 13.
13. You've read all kinds of books about bounty hunters and such. You've never ran with a bounty hunter or met one, like a
Mhm.
true career bounty hunter. Um, but and again, you're not used to this sort of like gruff way of the road life where it's sort of like
Yeah.
man eat man, and like the frontier is for all intents and purpose lawless unless you're within city limits. Um, but you know what you've been told to do. You know, if you find a criminal, um, basically like you're a knight, and if somebody questions like your thought, like if you say like this person's guilty, I'm taking him to receive justice, and someone goes, you're full of shit, they're questioning your honor. And to question the honor of a knight is has consequences, such as like, you know, you wishing to demand satisfaction, being the more skilled warrior 90% of the time would not go well for the other individual. So usually there wouldn't be cause to call to question the honor of a knight unless someone really, really passionately believes against it. So
Mhm.
that's what you know one to do in sort of your circumstance as a knight and a noble individual. You're not really sure about like this. There's no like you never read like the guide to bounty hunting because it doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Um, um, but yeah, That's pretty much it. If you have evidence, all the better. But usually, the authority that you will bring your bounty to is very much knowledgeable of this individual.
Yeah, so it'll probably take people in Mirabar to confirm that
Yeah.
this is the guy.
Yeah, and to be clear, people who bring bounties to receive a bounty and are wrong, or try and just bring some, like, more shitty bounty hunters will bring someone who looks like the wanted posters and hope it doesn't get past them, and they're like, and then get paid anyway and run off. So it's not the end of the world if you get the wrong bounty, you know?
Friends, just to float it by you. What if we just went out there and informed him that he was coming with us?
Just
A
grab
potentially innocent man. I could never. I couldn't.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be bringing any undue harm, and if I am wrong, I swear by all that I can do that I will see him safely back and pay him for the time that was spent.
Under most circumstances, I'd probably think that that wouldn't be necessary, but look, the guy needs to go to Mirabar anyway. He's avoiding a responsibility.
That is the thing, yes. Well, that's not a matter of the law, as Lord Horn said. It doesn't really sit well with me either. So even if I'm wrong, I'm still a little incensed.
I just. Well, just.
Then, how about this then? We wait for him to come back, and I guess we'll just have to be a bit more aggressive with the questioning, and either he comes clean and, we get the bounty, or we'll just have to, I mean, he probably won't, but we'll bring him to Mirabar regardless. And if we're wrong, well, we'll
Of course.
compensate him for the traumatic experience of being forcibly taken there. But at the same, like, he can't just avoid that.
I mean,
People are dead, and he's the last person he saw who was with them.
Either people are dead, and either he's fleeing the responsibility of making that known, or he's the one that murdered them.
Cinder says, can I just put something in there, if you guys don't mind my
course.
saying? It sounds like you guys are just, like, you're trying to, like, morally justify, like, oh, even if he isn't, we probably should, because this whole thing, like,
I
if
am
he,
not.
chances are he's lying about all of it anyway, so why don't we just tie him up and punch him until he tells us what we want to know? If it makes you feel better, we could just take him outside the city and do it in the woods where there is no law.
I can throw the gauntlet.
I mean, if we think he's the bounty, we think he's the bounty. Let's take him, and then who cares if we're wrong?
Well then, I won't intervene, but if he is innocent,
I understand, and if he is innocent, then I swear to you in my honor that I will do all I can to make good on that.
in that case, I'll follow your lead.
Well, if we tie him up, we're gonna have to tell the guards that we're leaving with a tied up guy.
But not a dead one.
Niena,
Yes.
you're outside. They've got another front of the line. They're getting their meat. Making a killing.
Mhm.
And they're sort of eating. The ground begins to rumble under your feet, and everyone else sort of notices it as well. Not like an earthquake rumble, but like you can just sort of feel something in the earth, like movement. You hear from outside the keep, all eyes to the west! All eyes to the west! And everyone sort of like turns and looks, tries to like find where all the direction is looking. He goes, to orbs! To orbs! Ding, 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 ding. You look to the west, and you see, coming over, sort of coming down the hill, a small army of goblins, hobgoblins, ogres with catapults strapped to their backs, and leading them is a frost giant who stands at the back line. Urti Marco! And you see all these hobgoblins form a phalanx at the front and begin to approach. You hear a massive yell from the keep, "We're under attack!" Which all of you hear that part. "We're under attack!" And that is where we're going to end the session.
Oh shit! I guess I'm gonna have to go give the potential murderer his damn axe.
See, dude, we meandered our way to an attack on the city.
No, I'm excited for that. This is a big battle. But you guys have like, there's a huge host of warriors here in Xantharl's Keep. There's like